Three, two, one. Welcome, everyone, to episode 255 of the Thumbstick Athletes Podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
I'm Eric.
Will.
Corey.
Today's topic is going to be our E3 preview / predictions. I know me and Corey are going to talk about things we kind of want to see. I don't know if that would fit into the preview or predictions category, but that's the route we're going to go with it. Yeah, because E3, I always thought it was like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday type of thing, but it starts on Sunday. It's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and a little bit into Thursday. That felt weird.
I always thought it was a Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might be thinking of one of the other game conventions that's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Is that PAX East, maybe? I swear one of them. Gamescom.
You're thinking of the NFL draft, Dan.
Is that how the NFL draft does it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that's not what I'm thinking of. Only because I never have an idea when the NFL draft
Madden's
is.
right around the corner. I see what's on your mind.
Football. Yeah, does anyone have anything you want to tease for later on the episode?
I played a mobile game a lot. I played SimCity Build It, which I discussed, was it 2 weeks ago, because my wife was playing it, so I started playing it. So I'll be talking about that. Actually, I played another mobile game called Top 11, which is a soccer management game.
Is that why you've had no time, Eric?
Eric does hate games now.
Well, I'm a little bit depressed about it, so we'll talk about that
I
later
actually have two mobile games to talk about as well.
It's the death of gaming. It's going on right here.
Go figure, the two that hate gaming.
Hey, I actually played a couple games that I'm in love with this week. So, in addition to these mobile games, I played a game called King Rabbit and a game called Mikorama on iOS. I think they're relatively new. I think that's it for new stuff. Dan played more of it than me, but I did play the demo for the tutorial for Hearts of Iron 4.
Yeah. I bought and played not a significant amount, but probably 5 or 6 hours of Hearts of Iron 4. So I will be giving my kind of first impressions. It's a very long game, a very in-depth game, and I'll talk about my experience thus far with it. So I did actually play something new this week, which was nice.
And I also went back to an old classic, The Witcher 3.
Oh.
It's too early for that to be called a classic.
We could talk about The Witcher 3, because I've been playing The Witcher 3 also.
I noticed.
Yeah. And then Overwatch. I played more Overwatch.
I played some more Overwatch, too.
Eric played Overwatch. Will, did you play any Overwatch? Corey and I played Overwatch over the weekend, I think.
Oh, yeah. I did.
That's right. Corey, didn't we play together?
We did, yeah. Forgot about that.
I mean, Johnny's in Italy right now, and he's the one who I play Overwatch with, so I haven't played.
Gotcha. Okay.
What about my teasers?
Yeah, that's... Okay, go ahead. Did you play anything new?
No, it's okay.
Will's a little bit grumpy.
I actually played Doom, Ratchet, and Clank.
Hey!
I played a couple of retro games, but it doesn't matter.
That's right. I forgot you're not in school anymore, so you have time to play some video games.
Yep.
What retro games did you play, you little sprout?
Maybe you'll find out.
Maybe.
Final Fantasy VI.
No, but I did buy that again.
Oh my
Tactics?
Yep, bought that again, too.
Nice.
You'll find out what I bought it on, though.
Oh.
God. PlayStation Vita.
I already have one, turns out. I forgot I had it.
All right. Shall we get started then?
I'm ready.
Yeah, why not?
All right.
Let's roll.
Who wants to go first with their first E3 prediction? Will, let's hear it.
All right. So my first, I went bold because me and Corey said we were going to go bold.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Corey ended up going bold or not, but at Bethesda's E3 conference, they're going to announce a Fallout game made by Obsidian.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
That's what I want to see.
where would you like this Fallout game to take place? I just want to take from you three. Where would interest you?
Alaska.
You know what
Alaska?
I want? You know what I want to see? I want to see a new isometric Fallout game like Pillars of Eternity.
It's called
Kinda like-
Wasteland 2.
I know, but I'm far more familiar with the Fallout universe than the Wasteland universe.
I'd be into that because they do those type of games. So
Yeah. Yeah. As far as location, I don't know. They've kind of touched on a lot of things. I think Corey has the right. You said Alaska, right, Corey?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would like to see like a tundra focused Fallout game. Maybe like I don't. What's a bigger city? Like a city in the
Anchorage.
outskirts. Anchorage, yeah, so, a place like that, or somewhere in Canada, maybe. That would be
Quebec.
You could see irradiated mooses. Moose.
I actually like that idea.
Yeah,
Talk me into Canada or Alaska.
like a Montreal or something like that. That would be cool.
Or like, how about Waterworld Fallout?
Yeah.
I was gonna Maine, Corey, off the coast of Maine.
Yeah.
But they did that in Far Harbor.
Yeah, and you loved it.
Yeah, but what if it's all boats and islands and oceans and stuff? Like,
Right.
like Wind Waker.
Wind Waker. I see what you're saying.
That would be cool too. Yeah, you're right.
Sure.
They just can't go anywhere near the Mojave Desert, DC, or Boston.
Yeah.
Well, Maine's close to Boston, but I liked Maine, so
Even like they kind of covered the swampy location with
Point Lookout.
Point Lookout from Fallout 3.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, because that was my first thought, is like a swampy location. I'm like, no, they already did that.
As long
Yeah.
as when they announce this hypothetical project, will they come up on stage and say, "We know Fallout 4 wasn't very good, so we're gonna give Obsidian a stab at it."
They would never say that.
Nope.
Because they did amazing on the last one.
You never. Oh my god. You never admit.
Gimli has passionate Fallout opinions,
Yeah,
Dan.
he's
It's okay.
just trying to get his voice heard.
Yeah, he's not thrilled with our city selections.
Anyway, continue.
You were talking, Dan.
I
Yeah.
know. Yeah, I can't focus.
You want me to give one?
Yeah, go ahead. But I
Alright.
like that idea. Well, that would be an awesome Bethesda moment.
Thank you.
Sure.
My predictions are all pretty lame, just so you know. Nothing really outlandish here. I think that, especially after the delay of No Man's Sky, Sony finally announces and even shows some VR gameplay of No Man's Sky. I think that maybe the delay had something to do with that.
That game should have VR.
Absolutely, it's made for it.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
But the only reason I don't positive that's going to happen is I feel like it may have already happened if they were going to do it. You know what I mean?
Have some sort of teaser about it anyway,
Yeah.
or some sort of coy message about the possibility of VR for No Man's Sky.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Corey, what do you got?
Sony announces a Vita successor.
That'll
No,
never happen.
Guys, it's a bold prediction. Cut me some slack.
that's true.
That's very bold.
That's the point.
I didn't know we were doing bold.
Will and I are. You can do whatever you want.
Okay. I'll do lame.
But if I'm right, screw you guys.
Yeah.
I will be the first to applaud you, Corey.
That that would be a drop the mic moment for Corey, I think.
Yeah, I mean, these are just predictions that are based on nothing. I had some predictions that we've actually seen rumors suggesting are true as well. So I didn't feel good putting them down as predictions. But this one, Vita successor, is literally based on nothing. In fact, Sony themselves have said the climate for a new Vita is not healthy,
No.
was their quote. So, hey.
It's a lot of the reasons it's their own fault for not supporting it, but
People really like their Vitas,
Yeah, they do.
It's a good piece of hardware,
Sure.
and a lot of it's their fault. But as we know about Sony, they like to throw a bunch of money behind hardware and then not back it up with anything worthwhile. I know the PlayStation is a exception to that rule,
I was
but
gonna say
Sure.
you bite your tongue.
yeah. Yeah. So how cool would that be?
I don't think. Who cares? Would any of us even give a shit?
I would. If their thing is like more of the what's purported to be the NX, like the cross play, like functionality between devices, and there's a big emphasis on that. I would be interested in something like that.
And the Vita can do that.
I know. But like the next level of that, I guess.
Like a handheld capable of playing PlayStation 4 games.
Right. Like your games that are at home and you can play them
Without the
on
streaming.
go. Yeah, kind of thing.
Yeah, like maybe even if it was the situation where you could only like buy digital copies, it didn't have any physical.
Yeah.
Yeah, but could still play, your full PS4 games bought from the PlayStation Store.
Or what if it's just a portable PS4?
That'd be cool. Be dangerous, but that'd be cool.
Okay. My first prediction, this is not a bold prediction at all, but I think we're going to see a lot of things VR. I think VR is going to be crammed down everyone's throats all throughout E3. New headsets, we'll probably see a couple other companies throw their headsets into the mix with the Oculus and the HTC Vive. I think we'll get lots of info on the PlayStation VR. Hopefully like release date, prices. I want to see all that information, I think Microsoft will announce the specifics of their Oculus compatibility. They were supposed to at this point, I think you can only like watch movies and play games like in theater mode in it, but I think they're going to take the next step with Oculus.
So Dan,
yes.
just branching off of that, the supposed new Xbox console has been rumored to be Oculus ready.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, if Sony's doing it, Xbox is going to do it, and vice versa. They're trying to stay abreast of each other with features and stuff. So, yeah, no surprise there. And then rumors of Nintendo delaying the NX. Apparently, that was because they wanted to add some sort of VR capability to the NX.
Why?
I don't know.
Right?
I don't know. Ugh. I don't know.
Nintendo doesn't usually follow like that. They usually just do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, which is what a lot of people like about them is they just kind of do
Right.
their own thing, I don't know. Maybe their whole goal with this system is to just be one of the three instead of, PlayStation and Xbox and then Wii U as your extra system,
Your dedicated Zelda and Mario machine.
Exactly. They want to be able to play everything and do everything that the other consoles can do.
Right.
So.
That was kind of my thought too, Dan. Like maybe this push is like once they heard about the new hardware coming out of Sony and Microsoft, rather than lead the pack, they can respond to some of the other stuff that happens after.
Yeah.
They can respond to the messaging and respond to the response of the messaging.
Yeah.
That people give. And use that to their advantage in launching their own platform, rather than just kind of doing their own thing, like you said.
Yeah.
Try to change it up this go around.
Sure.
We know better than that, though, don't we?
Nintendo, they're that dopey elephant. Okay, yeah, that's my first prediction. I think we're going to see a lot of VR stuff. So, safe prediction. I think that's pretty much a given at this point.
I think that's what Sony has to push.
Yeah. Okay. Will, what's your next prediction?
We're going to hear about at least 12 remasters.
12.
Yep, that's my number, 12.
That's the over-under? That's a pretty good guess, honestly.
It's going to be sprinkled in there. I've done, I don't know any of the rumors that have been going on. So,
Well, I'm going to share one with you right now and see what you think of it.
All right.
Skyrim.
I mean, yeah, I'd be into that, but
Yeah. It's probably, it won't be a full remaster. It'll be a graphically superior version for the new consoles, I think, which is a smart idea.
and with DLC included
yeah.
too.
Yeah, sure. like they'll call it a remastered or HD version or what have you, but it'll be graphically superior, obviously, to the old ones, just for the new systems. It's stupid not to do that, I think.
Well, they already did it. They did it when they were messing around with the Xbox One.
Yeah, they got it running on Xbox One, right?
Yeah, I'd be into that.
Is that one of the backwards compatible games on the Xbox One?
I don't believe so.
Okay, so yeah, they probably didn't want to do that because, hey, let's re-release it for.
And I'm gonna get it.
Well,
I'd rather they did like Oblivion though, because I haven't really played Oblivion.
Yeah,
but that would
least favorite.
That I was reading about how everybody thought that was like the worst one.
Yeah.
Every time you had to go close a damn whatchamacallit.
That was miserable. The Rift
Oblivion Gates.
Oblivion Gates, thank you.
Gates. Ugh.
As I said, I just started running towards the end. I would just go in there and I would run till you pull the stone out.
Yep. Screw it.
Yep.
I know this would take way more work than they probably want to do, but Morrowind remake.
Will, are you wearing a Pokemon shirt?
No, it's a Lake Erie Monster shirt.
Oh, looks like a Pokemon.
I mean,
Gengar.
one of my Nibblebits is about Pokemon, so good segue,
Okay.
Corey.
Good segue into. No.
If only it was Nibblebit time.
Oh, predictions are over. Let's get right into Nibblebits.
By the way, before you move on from me,
Mhm.
like I said, I have no idea what's been going on with gaming, so I've been Googling E3 bold predictions. None of these are bold.
Yeah.
No.
Well, that's how people make themselves look good.
Yeah.
Oh, Nintendo will announce a new Mario game.
Yeah, some of the stuff is obvious or just stupid. Like,
Yeah.
not out.
Like, come on, Game Informer.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's chunks in my coffee.
Although I would like to see a new Super Mario Sunshine. Chunks as in like coffee grounds?
I don't know. Chunks.
No.
I don't know what it is.
You talking for the NX, Dan?
It doesn't matter. And I think anything that's new will be NX Wii U, probably. Both.
I hate that.
I don't mind. Like,
I hate it.
if people aren't going to jump right onto the NX right away, want to get a few more titles for their Wii U, and then the
Yeah,
people
but who is that person?
poor person,
I
or
don't know,
parents,
man. I think even those people are going to find a way.
or parents who are like, look, I just bought you this Wii U. I'm not buying you the new Nintendo system. I mean, I'm going to
Yeah.
get one on launch day
Same.
without
Same
question.
here.
I want Mario Sunshine.
I would
Yeah,
love to see
I'd be
Mario
down for
Sunshine
that.
too.
That game is underrated.
Agreed. What do you got next, Corey?
Well, since we're talking about NX, I think we're gonna hear some stuff about the NX.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. Actually, as one of mine, I don't think that. I think they're full of shit.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be much, but it could just be something like at the end of their Treehouse stream or something like, "Hey, here's what it looks like."
Something to give you half chub.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a little tease.
Yeah. Brush over the crotch.
Uh huh.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, it would be the perfect time to do it because even people that aren't necessarily super well versed in gaming or the industry pay attention at E3. Like even before I got into before we started this podcast, like before I followed everything meticulously, I still paid attention to E3. So it's a way to get those people excited.
Absolutely. And I think it's perfect timing for it because they said they're not going to say anything. So I think the excitement, if they do, will be that much greater.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Didn't they say? Was it? When did they show Zelda the first time? Didn't they say they weren't gonna show any Zelda, and then they showed it?
It was it last year's E3?
It's either last year or 2 years ago. I can't remember.
Yeah. It might have been
Who
2
knows?
years ago when they first showed it.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then they showed some more last year. Said,
Well-
it's going to be out this fall.
Was it first revealed at the Game Awards?
Yeah, it was.
Was it Game Awards?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe it was.
When what's his name and I can't remember either of their names now. The two Japanese guys were sitting talking, and
Yep.
the screen was behind them. That was at the Game Awards.
Yep. And it
Oh.
was super awkward.
I'm not
No.
positive, but I think it was.
Yeah, it was.
I would have sworn it was at E3, the
Or
Treehouse.
the Game Awards, maybe the second time we saw Zelda had a little more gameplay, and they put that music over it, like the live
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
music over it. Is that what I'm thinking of?
I don't
That
know.
was at the Game Awards, I think.
Right.
That specific one. Because I think they had a live orchestra, right, playing it.
They did something. I don't remember.
I would bet money the first time that we saw gameplay from it was the Game Awards.
Or was it? Did they announce it at E3 last year? We saw some stuff at the Game Awards last year.
Who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Nintendo lies to us.
Good point. Okay.
Yeah, that was my point. That maybe they have misled us in the past.
Sure. Okay. Me next. I don't
Oh,
remember-
it's my turn.
I don't remember the order we were going. Go ahead.
Well, Corey took one of mine
Mhm.
with that last one, so I'll go to back to Bethesda with a similar prediction. I think we're gonna see something about the next Elder Scrolls game right at the tail end of their set.
Uh-huh.
Some to just brush over the crotch with again.
Yeah, coming fall 2017 type of thing.
Yeah, pushed back to February 2018.
Gotcha.
Is this before or after the Skyrim remaster announcement?
It'll be at the very end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last thing.
Okay. Gotcha.
It'll be like, oh, and one more thing.
Skyrim 2.
He'll go, we realize Fallout 4 sucked, so we want to make sure that the next Elder Scrolls is really good.
Yes. That's how I want them to lead into all of their announcements.
But Corey, that's a lie. It was a good game.
No.
I know Fallout 4 sucked, but Dishonored 2 is going to be awesome.
I don't even think he could say that with a straight face.
To make up for Fallout 4, we put a lot of time and effort in Dishonored 2.
Or Battlecry, or whatever that game was.
Battlecry.
That's been canceled.
We canceled Battlecry because we knew how bad Fallout 4 was.
I don't think it's been officially canceled, has it?
Yeah.
No. Listen to Giant Bomb talked about it a lot this week. It's pretty much it's as good as canceled.
Yeah.
I can
But
sign up for
I
the
don't think
alpha.
it's official. Yeah, they were talking about how like their Twitter banner says beta coming June 15th, 2015 or something like that.
Kind of like our Twitter.
It's
Yeah,
it's
episode 137.
the problem with that type of game is like, you have your arena shooters it's like everyone trying to get into the MOBA game. There's only so many of those that can exist and have,
that was their
and have
point.
good communities. Yeah.
That was their point. That as saturated as the market was then, it's
Yep.
even worse now.
Yeah, definitely.
So
And Blizzard beat him to the punch with Overwatch. If it was anything similar to, I don't think it was that similar, but it's like a third-person arena shooter type of thing, right?
yeah,
So-
I think it's closer to
Smite,
Battleborn,
Battleborn.
from what I can tell, but I could be completely wrong.
Don't you
Right.
guys remember when I said that game sucked and I hadn't even played it?
Yeah, I think that was the unanimous decision.
I like
Game was
the
terrible.
I like the art direction and the styling of it, but it didn't look very good. The handful of times I saw it.
No.
Okay. This is my last prediction, but then after that I'll go through when we come around to me again. I'll go through the things I want to see from everyone. So I think for my prediction, I think everyone's going to kind of play it safe this year's E3. I don't think there'll be any mind-blowing announcements.
No
But partially-
Shenmues and Final Fantasy VII.
yeah,
this year?
I don't think so, but I think part of that too is everything leaks ahead of time nowadays. I think it's hard for
annoying.
them to keep secrets. Yeah. So you're not going to get as many mind-blowing announcements.
We saw, was it the whole Bethesda press conference that leaked
last year.
Yeah,
yesterday?
it was what?
Yeah.
I hate
I pulled up some of the leaks and rumors. I didn't see that the whole Bethesda, but this article was written yesterday.
Well, yeah, I mean, anyone with a cell phone can just take pictures of. They're already starting to set stuff up for it, and they'll just take pictures of whatever and put it on the internet. Maybe even under an anonymous account, and there's your leak.
Wait, is that the one where they talk about Prey 2
Yeah.
that I just found? Okay, yeah, that was only some of it.
The Skyrim remaster, Prey 2, Wolfenstein 2, and Evil Within 2.
Yeah.
Does anything there get anyone excited?
Tickle me fancy.
Yeah.
Wolfenstein.
Skyrim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a hard time getting into that Wolfenstein game. I don't know why.
It's because the beginning's bad.
I liked the beginning.
Really?
That's the
That's the
beginning.
part I
of
like.
So why'd you have a hard time getting into it?
I don't know, man.
I did not like the beginning. I had a hard time getting into it.
I don't know. It was a bit. Was it a little sci-fi with the robots and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
It's just not my bag.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm kind of going into this year's E3 a little bit pessimistic. I'm hoping my low expectations will be exceeded, and something does come out of the blue that surprises everyone. That's what I want. So there you go. Will, next prediction.
Keeping on with my remaster train, we get a plethora of information on the Final Fantasy VII remaster or remake, whatever that even is.
What do you think? Just the first episode, though?
Yeah, the first episode of 6, probably. Each sold separately for $40.
60 full first 10 hours. First episode 10 hours. $60.
And it can be yours for 4 easy payments and 1 hard payment.
I hate that I would probably buy it, too.
Oh, you're definitely gonna buy it. Do you think we see anything from that Shenmue game?
I forgot that existed until just now.
I never played any of them, so I don't really care. But a
Yeah,
lot
they're
of
gonna
people seem
do
to care.
their second Kickstarter round.
They're gonna bring that poor sap back out on stage
To ask
and
everyone
have
for
him ask for more cash. He'll just like bring up a PowerPoint slide of here's what we'll add to the game.
and then he starts crying.
Story mode, just things like that.
They need $10 million for a good story.
A professionally written story.
Yeah. A score.
If you want a soundtrack to this game,
You're gonna have to shell out some more cash. That's good. I like that.
The worst part of it is that's coming. That sort of thing is coming.
You
Yeah.
haven't heard anything since the
Well,
initial.
I don't even mean specifically for Shenmue. I mean, some company will try and kickstart a game, and the stretch goals will be that sort of thing. Music.
Yeah, story.
Oh, yeah.
well,
That's-
look at everything that's funded by Patreon nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's disappointing. But
Is it?
anyway. Yeah.
Why?
Well, I don't mind the Patreon thing.
I don't even know what Patreon is.
Dan, you old bat.
Hey, I'm a sour old man.
Dan, I didn't love the Shenmue approach, I guess.
Yeah.
I just felt like they could have been a little more forthright as far as, is Sony, paying for this? Like,
Right.
What are the fans paying for here? Like, exactly.
Not just that, but it's like, it was a beloved franchise that's, basically on their hands and knees begging for funding to make a third game,
Exactly.
I agree that it was kind of scuzzy, but it was also super smart
I don't think it was scuzzy. I think it was
By
kind
who?
of
by Sony.
Why? Oh, well,
Smart
yeah,
by
it's good
Sony?
faith.
Well, a great way to gauge interest
interest, yeah.
and avoid the risk,
No, you're right about that.
the inherent risk of developing something.
Not to
Like
mention, I think it came after when Final Fantasy VII and The Last Guardian were already shown, so people's minds were already blown. You know what I mean? So they're just continuing on, like, oh, Shenmue 3, I gotta back it now.
Oh,
After
just
all-
like building that E3 kind of trance.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like
Okay.
Sony's press conference 3 years ago.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Best E3 conference I've ever seen.
I know you really liked it because you tweeted from Thumbstick Athletes, "God bless you, Sony."
It was so good.
It was,
was
good.
really
It
good.
was good.
It could not have been better.
It was very well crafted and a very good response to Microsoft's
Microsoft.
Hey.
debacle.
Microsoft's absolute shitstorm.
Hey, how about that Connect, huh, fellas? They really
Uh.
need to pack that in for the extra $100.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Dan,
next
next Xbox update is going to bring Cortana to the table for your Connect.
Oh boy.
Yippee.
I had forgotten all about that Connect thing, Dan.
Yep.
I tried
Yeah,
to give him the benefit of the doubt for that too.
They said it was essential. They lied.
Exactly. That's why Sony is winning this console generation.
Corporations don't lie to consumers.
Anyway, whose turn is it now?
I'll go.
Eric.
Eric, go ahead. Let's hear it.
This is not bold, not even close to bold. But I think we hear a release date and price for the new PS4 console, PS4 and a half, if you will.
Neo.
Right. I guess I'll add to that. I think that is this holiday comes out.
Okay.
Didn't we read when this news originally broke that they could potentially have enough ready to sell by E3? Like 2 million units? Not that that's a lot, but
Maybe we did read that.
because that would be awesome. Just to
Yeah.
take your prediction one step further, Eric.
And just
They're
be like,
available now.
they're available now.
Yeah. We'd probably know about it by now, though, because that stuff, once
Oh,
it gets
yeah.
to retailers,
Yeah.
It's out.
yeah.
Speaking of which, another leak. Did you see GameStop leaked Injustice 2? I don't know who Ed Boon is, but he must be part of the development group that does Injustice. And he had a funny tweet. It was something like a Christmas card list or something, and it said like, whatever, Kotaku, whoever, and then it said GameStop, and it crossed them out.
It's not like they haven't been guilty of that in the past, too. You think they'd know better. They've spoiled a few release dates and announcements and stuff. Get it together, GameStop.
I mean, to be fair, he was teasing it pretty hard himself, so I don't think it was a huge shock. And it was funny, it was a good response. But
Get it together, GameStop.
yeah, so I think we're gonna get release dates and pricing for PSVR and the new PS4, and a bundle for the two.
Okay.
Save your pennies.
Yeah. Start eating ramen noodles and mac and cheese only.
Probably gonna have to if you want a bundle.
Yeah. Okay. Next.
I'll go.
Let's hear it.
Rage 2. I've been predicting this for a while,
Okay.
but I don't know if it'll actually happen.
I liked Rage 1.
Oh, I
So-
know you did.
Wouldn't mind seeing a Rage 2.
You were the only one.
Was I the only one that played it?
I
No,
played
you're
like
the only
2
one that
hours.
liked it.
Did everyone play it, though? Did you play it?
In the world?
No.
Oh.
Out of us. 4 of us.
I didn't play it, no. I wanted to play it, I just never got to it.
As soon as I heard you had to backtrack and the saving system was bad, it was off my list immediately.
Yeah, there was a couple things about it that I really didn't like. I seem to remember the backtracking and the stupid save points, and then the dying animations for when you shot someone up and they died. It looked ridiculous. But like the vehicular stuff was all really cool. They build it as like another Fallout 3, and it definitely was not that. That's who they tried to appeal to. Fallout 3 fans, and it was nothing like that. But
It was similar. There was an apocalypse.
yeah, well, that's about where the similarities end,
It did look awesome, though.
It looked great. I was gonna replay it not that long ago. I downloaded it and everything. I just never played it. But Rage 2. Okay. Will, what do you have left?
I got one more. I'm gonna be so impressed by VR that I'm gonna want to buy one.
Yeah?
Which
No,
one?
I'd-
PlayStation?
that's just as bold as I can get for my last one. I don't care for VR as of right now, and I know this E3 is just going to be full of it. So that's like I'm not looking forward to it for that reason. No, I'm not that I'm not looking forward to it. It's just like I don't want every press conference to be like 10, 15 minutes of VR when I'm not the least bit interested in it.
You're not even the least bit interested.
No.
Really?
Yeah, I'm kind of with Will. I'm only very mildly interested.
Well, that counts as the least bit. That's what I'm saying.
only curiosity. Like I think it was Paul Tassi. Once again, I bring up, but he wrote that he got, was it the Vive or the Oculus? Doesn't matter. And he's like, yeah, I used it a lot for 2 days, and then now sits in a box in the closet. When I have people over, I show them. But he said even like one of his gamer friends he had over to try it, and he played a game for like 15 minutes, and then was like, okay, let's play Rocket League now. Like he didn't really.
Rocket League's a special horse, Dan.
Well, I mean, any like couch co-op game that you would go over to play with a friend, like VR is out for that. So
absolutely. But let's just be honest. How many people are still playing couch co-op games?
Not many, but like I think of my situation, it's not. It won't enhance my experience for like Overwatch or Hearts of Iron or anything like that.
Specifically for your situation, it's certainly not parent friendly.
No, it's not parent friendly at all. All the wires and stuff, too. I hear are an issue for people that own the system. So,
I have seen some really cleverly rigged up IKEA hacks for to manage the wires.
Yeah, like is it like have you ever used the car wash where they have that spinny thing up on the top? Like that's like that sort of thing.
Yep.
They keep everything elevated so you don't trip over the wires.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's
it's
smart.
Retractable too, so it never hangs.
Never underestimate the power of a gamer to slightly improve a product.
I could never see myself like having an issue like that and resolving myself to do something about it.
Yeah, I would just
kidding me. Not even a chance.
Yeah.
I would just suffer through tripping over the wires and stuff. And then I'd be like, okay, this is not worth it anymore, and I'd put it away.
I'd much rather just keep pulling the wires out of a dog's mouth than do anything about it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Getting mad at the dog.
Yeah. Yeah, but like, and the cost too. Like, I was initially interested if the Oculus was going to be $300 or even $350, but like for $600, you can get an amazing like G-Sync monitor. That would increase that would I would get tons of use out of.
Until these VR headsets transport me into a virtual world where I can do whatever I want, I'm not interested.
Like, what do you want to do? Like sexy stuff?
No, just
that'll happen. You can do
like I just want to be like transported into a zombie world and try and survive. And then once I die, I come out of it, or like stuff like that.
You know what that says to me, Will? You're just not an early adopter.
No,
you'll buy in later on.
That might not be a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing. I think it's probably a smart thing. Let me waste some money.
I still just think the augmented reality stuff is more
interesting.
Not interesting, but easier to create video games for.
Sure.
Like video games that you want to play.
Actual games instead of demos.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is one that I think looks cool. Can't remember what it is. Don't ask me. But it's like in a forest with some dinosaurs.
Ark.
No. I don't remember what it's called, but it looked pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, we still have... we all sort of agreed that this would be the case, too, that we're still waiting for that like killer VR game that we just haven't seen. The one you have to have. The one that convinces you to buy VR.
We'll see it at E3. I already predicted it.
Oh, that was your prediction?
That's one of the things
I
have down for Sony, actually, and I'll get when I talk about it, I'll get there. But that's one thing I want to see during their conference is the AAA must-have VR title.
You know what's sad, Dan?
What's that?
It ain't gonna happen.
Yeah,
That
I
does
mean,
exist.
most of these things that I have on my what I want to see from each of the conferences are things that I don't think are going to happen. But
Sure.
So Jake brings up in the chat that he wants a Elder Scrolls VR game.
Yep.
And I was thinking, how cool would it be? Because I think that would be hard to do.
Yeah.
Technical restrictions. But how cool would it
Oh my
be
God.
to just have the Elder Scrolls tour guide, and you just get this old crotchety old man to walk you through all these Elder Scrolls ruins and stuff, and just tells you about the lore while you're just kind of looking around and
while you're on
enjoying
like
it.
horseback or sitting in a wagon or something,
Yeah, and it's more storytelling than actually
Yeah.
like playing a game.
it would be
Sounds
like
terrible.
the
Really?
Skyrim experience.
Oh man, I would love
That's
that.
exactly what I hate in video games.
Really?
I'd-
But that's
I'd
the
be-
thing.
Yeah.
Like, I think VR is more suited to what I'm describing than like
Oh yeah,
an
you're
actual
absolutely
Elder
right.
Scrolls game.
No, you're right about that. I just like it's the reason I don't like Game of Thrones. It's too much story and character building. I just get bored.
Yeah.
Like I'd sit there for a half hour and be like, "Oh, this is really cool," and then the next time I put it on, it would be for 15 minutes, and I'd say, "Oh, this is really cool," and the next time it'd be for 5 minutes. I'd be like, "Oh, I'm probably not gonna do that again."
Well,
away.
as for Game of Thrones, Dan, as Ian McShane so eloquently put it, it's just tits and dragons.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Boobies and dragons, boobies and death.
If that was the case, I'd probably like it. So I think he's full of shit.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think he's full of shit when he says that. That's why it's funny.
Good man.
I'm gonna refuse to watch Game of Thrones until it's not popular.
You should
Yeah, maybe
refuse
then
to,
I'll like it.
you should refuse to watch it until it's done. Because I'm looking at 3 more episodes this season. I'm like, what the hell am I going to do until next season?
How many seasons are gonna
Freeze
be
myself.
for that show?
There's going to be 2 more after this year.
But they're half seasons, right?
Yeah, one's going to be hello.
Hey Dan.
Dan?
We're here.
Sorry, my video just died. There's going to be 7 episodes and then 6 episodes the next 2 seasons.
Then it's done.
13 more. Yep. Which
Okay.
I like. I like that there's going to be an end point. The
Oh,
problem,
like Lost.
yeah, exactly. Lost and Heroes is another show that just kept going with no direction. You know, there was no end point in sight, and they didn't know what to do with it after.
Same with Pretty Little Liars.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's why it helps to have an author for your source material.
Sure. Because there is an end in sight. But anyway, my turn.
Sure, Dan.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so these are the things that I want to see from each of the press conferences. Starting with EA, they're the first ones. Their press conference is going to be on Sunday, I believe. I want to see an open world action RPG set in the Star Wars universe.
1313.
1313,
Dan.
something like
Oh my
that.
God.
I don't think EA is going to give us that, but who
I'd
knows?
be
I know
all over
they're
that.
they're working on 2 Star Wars games, I think, right now that they haven't given us any information on yet. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Didn't they say 1313 might not be dead necessarily?
It's rumored. I don't know if EA has said anything, but some of the
I think at very least they're working on something similar.
yeah, maybe they use assets from 1313 or gameplay from 1313, and they're plugging it into a new game or whatever.
Yeah.
Also, from EA's press conference, I want to see them put an emphasis on a solid campaign for Battlefield 1. I think Battlefield 1 sets itself up very nicely for having an awesome, like, solid 10 to 12 hour campaign. I would love to see that.
I would too.
Been a while since we've gotten a really good first-person shooter campaign. Other than Doom, I've heard Doom has a great campaign. So I'm hoping they kind of set the standard for first-person shooter campaigns.
Which game did you just say, Dan?
Battlefield 1.
Oh, okay.
I like it, Dan. I like
Yep.
that.
Thank you. I also don't want to see any mention of any sports titles.
Oh, God.
Good.
Don't watch
good
EA.
try.
Gag me with
Again.
a spoon.
Not something I think that's going to happen, but they just never have anything interesting to show. Any of the sports titles.
It's marketing
Talking
bullet
about
points.
Dan, the Ignite engine.
Ignite
Triple
engine.
check.
That's exactly right. It was so funny when you guys were talking about the new quote unquote new features in NHL 17.
New ways to play.
Like, yeah, there's nothing there. You know, the only cool thing about that was the ECHL teams being added.
Dan, you can
It's literally-
create an arena.
Exactly.
Dan, the World Cup of Hockey tournament is in the game. You know what that means?
You
Somewhere
can enter
there's
a new tournament.
somewhere there's a title card that says World Cup of Hockey, and that's it.
Achievement unlocked. And you win it.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Woo!
Unfortunately, we will see. We'll see Madden. Probably FIFA. FIFA is really popular, so they'll.
You'll see all the above, Dan.
Yeah, you'll see every sports game.
Sports montage. More importantly, I think this is where you need to focus because we know the sports are coming.
Yeah.
Let's at least stop bringing out fucking Pele and whoever else they bring out because nobody, not even me as a big soccer fan, is interested in seeing Pele at E3.
Sure.
Okay? Have your little sports montage. Spare us the celebrity sports player that has absolutely no interest in being there.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll call it even.
Yeah, because wasn't it John Jones 2 years ago that they had come out to play the EA UFC?
Couldn't even see straight, had no idea where he was, I'm sure.
Yeah, he was probably confused.
Coked out.
Probably just crash into a pole somewhere.
Wrapped a Bentley.
And then last from EA, I don't want to see anything about any mobile games. Nothing.
Wait, not the Minions game?
Not the Minions game. I don't want to see anything about, what was it, Peggle? Was that EA?
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to see any of that crap.
So you don't want to see any mobile games at E3?
No.
A lot of people love Peggle.
Yeah, I'm sure it's good, but
It's okay. I've tried it.
okay.
I bought Peggle 2 because I heard it was really good.
Mhm.
All right.
All right.
What about Fallout Shelter 2, Dan?
No, but Bethesda's
Yeah.
next on the list. So that's
I'm a
good
big mobile gamer now, so I'd be all right with that.
Fallout Shelter 2. So Bethesda, things I want to see from Bethesda. There's nothing super interesting here. There's been rumors of a Skyrim remaster, likely to be graphically enhanced version for the PS4 and Xbone. That's fine. I think that's a good idea, and that's. Well, I think we've talked about that on this very podcast maybe years ago that they should put Skyrim on the new generation consoles. There's no reason not to, you know. And then we'll what's that?
Sure.
Sure. And then we'll likely see a lot more from Dishonored 2, which is also fine for me.
Yeah.
That's okay. Microsoft. I want to see more Microsoft games. The ones that they have in the Windows platform, I'd like to see them come to Steam. This is not going to happen. It's a hell of a long shot, I know, but a girl can dream, right?
Yeah, she can.
I would like to see them announce keyboard and mouse support for all their games. Also, not likely to happen, but I would like to see it. At least some talk of what the capabilities of the new Xbox One are. I know we're going to hear about the Slim. I don't know if we're going to hear about the new more powerful one that I think they call it nicknamed Scorpio.
Yep.
I doubt they'll have any information about that because they're trying to get rid of the old Xbox Ones. So I don't think they're going to announce anything about that yet.
I think they will.
I think they will too.
I know they're going to talk about the Slim, but I'm not. Well, maybe they will talk about the new one.
I think they will because I think Sony's ready. So I think they're kind of have to be ready.
And the cat's out of the bag.
Cat is way out of the bag.
It's not like any of this stuff's a secret anymore.
The longer they wait, the douchier they look.
It's true.
And you know what, Corey? They're pretty good at that. So maybe Dan's onto something.
Could be a year until we hear about the new
Next C3.
Scorpio, right? That's the code name?
Scorpio.
Get over here.
Yeah. That guy.
I would like to see more PC releases for their big exclusives. Again, I would prefer to see those on Steam, but that's not likely to happen. And then more Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah, that
that's
game.
one that I could be really happy if we see more of.
I believe that is confirmed
Oh, good.
To be at
for
the
being at E3.
You know another one that I cannot believe that hasn't come out yet? Cuphead.
Cuphead.
You
Yeah.
remember Cuphead?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if
What's it going on its third year now?
Yeah, there hasn't been any information on it in a while. I think it's slated for 2016.
Yeah, it
So
is.
it'll be a fall release.
I really hope so.
Yeah, because that looks amazing. Next up, the PC gaming one. I have no idea what to expect from that. I didn't put any predictions because I have no idea what to expect.
Do we know if this one's sponsored AMD again?
I'm not sure. The only thing I heard was that it was going to be shorter and more focused than the last one. The last one was like 3 hours long, I think.
I
Way
didn't
too-
mind. I'm glad they're doing it again.
Yeah, no, I agree. I totally agree. There's going to be some developers. I know Bohemia Interactive is going to be there. Boss Key Productions is going to be there.
Blizzard.
Blizzard,
I think Blizzard is going to be there.
That's right.
I think. I think I
the
heard
only
that.
one I care about.
I just saw a few of them on there. So Ubisoft.
Forgot about them.
I want to see them announce or even hint at an Assassin's Creed set in World War One or World War Two.
God, that'd be amazing.
Just do it.
It could be.
For those of you that have played Syndicate, you can see why I would want something like that.
There's a lot of mention of it too.
There's a World War II part in Syndicate. So
That'll win my game of the year if they announce it.
yeah. So that's that. No mobile games from Ubisoft either. I don't want to see anything mobile. I just don't.
How many mobile games do you want to see from Nintendo, Dan?
None. I'm not thrilled with Nintendo's foray into mobile yet.
I'm interested in the Animal Crossing mobile game.
Sure.
Because I feel like this is my chance to maybe finally get the Animal Crossing thing. Because to this point, I don't get it.
Yeah.
But I think maybe on mobile.
Yep. They're doing Animal Crossing and a Fire Emblem, both on mobile.
Yeah. Yeah. A more accessible Fire Emblem sounds all right too.
Sure. More info on For Honor. Kinda
Oh,
wanna-
yeah.
Oh, I really thought that game looked cool.
Yeah.
It's my favorite toast.
For Honor.
Yep.
It's a good toast.
I still to this day do not remember how it goes, but I like to have Eric do that toast.
My favorite is
I won't do it here.
No, it's inappropriate.
Hail the Victorious Dead. Hail! Remember that?
Nope.
You know I like them in leather. We like them in leather. We like them in lace. You know that one?
That's
I've heard that.
It's another good classic.
Dan, how does the other one? What was the one you're talking about? How does that go?
It was just Hail the Victorious Dead. Hail. It's from it's on Rohan after a battle.
Oh,
It's in the movie.
Come on, Corey. I even knew that.
it's been
Yeah.
a while.
And then for my last thing for Ubisoft, no dance or party games, please. For the love of God, no dance or party games. I don't want to see Just Dance 2016 or 2017. I don't care. I don't want to see it. I know
Come
it's a
on,
popular
man.
franchise. E3 is not your target audience.
I'm
Please.
into it.
Please no.
Will's down.
Dance 100.
Whatever. I don't want to see it. What was that awkward karaoke game? Was it during? Was it Ubisoft or Nintendo?
Sing.
SingStar or something like that?
Yeah,
I
I know
have no
exactly
idea.
what you're talking about. And they
So-
hired all those kids to act like they're having a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was really awkward and it made me cringe just by watching it. Sony, for what I want to see out of Sony is more heavy hitting JRPGs. They have the ability to woo Japanese developers like Xbox can, and I would love to see more personas, more Disgaias, stuff like that. What's the new Star Ocean? Faithless and Integrity and Faithlessness, something like that.
Faith, yeah, something like that.
Persona 5's coming.
Yeah, that's supposed to come out later this year, right?
No, it got
That's
pushed
it.
to early next year.
Yeah,
February.
stuff like that. That's a huge advantage that Sony has over Microsoft is the JRPGs. So more stuff like that. I mentioned earlier some AAA must-have games for PSVR. I'd like to see that.
I don't even know what that would look like.
I don't either.
I just gave you an idea.
You were
Well-
wrong.
I think no, it would have to be a game, but I think it would have to be almost like a new experience.
Would it
You
have
know?
to be a game though?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I do.
I'm not
I get
seeing
where
it.
you're coming from, but I
I
don't
see-
think that's going to be enough to sell those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're on the right track, Dan, with new experience.
Yeah, they're gonna have to create because even like your first person games don't work well. I don't think in VR because you're stationary when in your headset you're moving. Like I think there's that weird disconnect. We talked about driving and piloting games would work for that, but at least for me, they're games I like to play on occasion. I'm not a hardcore racing game player or piloting game player. So, and then any and all info on the new PlayStation model, the Neo. Stuff like that. So, Nintendo. I'd like to see NX news. I know they said they wouldn't, but I still have some hope. We talked about that earlier.
It's okay to have hope.
Yeah. I would like to have them announce or show a little bit of, or both, a Wii U NX Fire Emblem game.
I'd be into that.
It's a little soon for that, isn't it?
Nope.
I don't know. I know the new Fire Emblem just came out, but as I said,
that and they have the mobile one coming.
yeah, but I would still like to see a console.
Dan
Corey-
just loves him some Fire Emblem.
That I do.
I think it's time for a new Mario game myself.
Yeah, what was the last one?
Mario
Was
Maker.
Mario Maker,
And
3D
Super
World.
Mario 3D World.
which was good. And then, like other than Zelda and Pokemon, I don't think Nintendo's gonna say too much.
New
What
strikers.
about another Splatoon?
Yeah, I would love to see.
Too soon?
I think it's too soon. Maybe next year we'll hear about Splatoon NX or whatever they end up calling their system.
That'd be a good release title,
Sure.
launch title.
Yeah, I would buy it in a heartbeat. I love Splatoon. So that's what I want to see out of E3. Anyone else have anything they want to chime in? Any other predictions?
Yeah, go
ahead.
ahead, Corey.
Nope. Mine aren't
Okay.
important.
Believe me, neither are mine. I think we finally get a release date for The Last Guardian.
Mhm.
Because they have no other games coming out this fall
Yeah.
that I can think of.
Sony?
Yeah.
I hope it gets delayed.
Well,
Their
other
big-
big game got delayed, so
We'll talk about that in Nibble Bits, I think, right?
yeah, I
had-
tweeted it.
Does
Okay.
Microsoft?
Possibly Gears.
Gears.
We're not sure.
I think Gears definitely. Forza Horizon is due to come out again this year. That's a good one. But yeah, Gears is the big
Crackdown.
feller.
That's not really a big one, but
Oh, is that this fall?
I think so. A lot of people
one's
said
pretty
that we'll see information about that at Microsoft's press conference.
Cool.
I'll just run through quickly what I want to see. There are rumors that suggest we're going to see a new Metro,
Oh,
which I'd be into.
I would be into that too.
I guess Deep Silver teased a major announcement, although people are speculating it's something else, but I can't remember
Dead
what
Island.
that is now.
The new Dead Island.
God, give us a Metro. It's time for a new Metro, right?
I agree. Yeah.
Last Light
It's-
was 3
Corey,
years ago.
Dead Island.
It's also time for a new Dead Island. So
It's never been time for a new Dead Island.
You know what? We
Ready.
got our Dead Island when
Techland
Dying
broke
Light.
off.
Yeah, when
Dying
Dying
Light.
Light came out.
Dying Light. Thank you. I couldn't even think of the name. Yeah, we got our new
It was
Dead
30,
Island.
30 times the game that Dead Island ever thought about being.
Did that win an award for us?
I hope not.
Dying Light?
Yeah.
Oh,
Me-
Biggest surprise or something?
Surprise, maybe. It was last year. It wasn't this year. It wasn't even, or it was 2014.
I'm being a hater. That was
Or
pretty
was it?
It was
No,
last year. It was early last year. It was like one of the first games to come out because we talked about it the whole year. We compared a lot of games to it.
That's
I could-
right, we did. It kept coming up.
Yeah.
and then we gave it no award.
I think we did. I feel like that game was vindicated somehow.
2015 Thummies. Is this mine or the winners?
We don't need to talk about Last of Us 2 maybe being a thing, do we?
No, I'll be so mad.
It's time. Bring us.
That-
The
Nah,
Last of Us.
it will never be time for that.
The rumors suggest that it might be time. But we'll find out more. Red Dead Redemption 2.
Ugh.
Okay, that's one that I want, Corey. That was on my list too. And the main reason I want that is because I never played the first one. And what I'm hoping is that when they announce that one, they make the first one backwards compatible so I can play it.
They that was a thing, wasn't it? Didn't that leak that was going to be the case, and then
There were rumors.
it just never materialized?
Well,
because
I mean,
people had that workaround they were doing for a while to get it to work.
so
They're doing a Red Dead remake.
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2 and a remake.
Yep.
I'd be pumped for that.
Some
Uh,
bad games.
Pack into the
Dying
pre-order.
Dying Light 1, most welcome surprise.
Nice.
Good.
Yeah, well, Rockstar said they're taking a Grand Theft Auto break. However, they tend to do their own thing at these events, or away from these events.
Yeah.
So
Take-Two.
probably not Red Dead Redemption 2 at E3, but like Dan said, girl can dream.
Yeah, sure.
Resident Evil 7, I don't think any of us care.
No.
It sounds like there's rumors out there. So, Shadow of Mordor sequel.
I'd be into
I'd
it.
be into that.
Meh.
There's some rumors out there for that. Dead Rising 4. Did we talk about?
No, we have not touched on that.
That leaked that's coming. So
Isn't that the fifth one? I thought it was the fifth one.
No, it's the fourth one.
But we can talk about it more. I have a nibble bit about it. Like Dan, I want to hear more about Battlefield 1. Civ 6.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about Civ 6, yeah.
Deus Ex, Mankind Divided.
Yeah.
These are just what I am hoping for and I'm excited to hear about if they're even there. Final Fantasy 15, sort of. We've kind of got a ton of Final Fantasy 15 information. I just want more reasons to look forward to it, I guess. I Am Setsuna is the JRPG from Squeenix.
I'm buying that.
Throwback JRPG. I've heard it's got some issues, but whatever. I'm able to see through some issues for certain games. Mass Effect Andromeda. Just want to know
what it's all about.
Want to know what it's all about. Zelda, of course. No Man's Sky, of course. And the new Wild Guns. Did you hear they're making a new Wild Guns game?
Wild Guns.
Wild Guns Reloaded.
What's Wild Guns?
It's that like space western shooter, side-scrolling shooter from, was it SNES? You'd know it when you saw it.
That's Wild Star.
No, it's Wild Guns.
The only thing that's coming to mind is Tin Star.
Tin Star, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Great game.
Tinder.
We need another one.
Yeah.
Tinder is how you said Will.
Yeah.
I got Wild Guns playing in the chat, Dan. If you want to tune into twitch.tv/thumbstickathletes, you'll see.
I don't think I have it on this. I guess I could look on my phone. Okay.
There's
Anything
one
else?
other thing that I want to see.
Let's hear it.
Kingdom Hearts info on the new one. It's
Yeah.
it's a series I've always thought I should be more into. So, I'm looking forward to that game.
Yeah, it looks cool. I'm looking,
Wild Guns. I don't remember this game.
I don't either. I don't think I ever played it.
Just like a cowboy jumping around on top of a train shooting at the sky with a jetpack.
It's a lot like Tin Star, Dan. And I forgot to mention, and Beardless mentioned it in the chat, is a new Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah,
That's
an
awesome.
actual Knights of the Old Republic and not the Old Republic.
Right.
Well, that's kind of what I was getting at with my EA thing. Third person action RPG set in the Star Wars universe.
Oh, I missed a whole section of what I want to see. I'll just run through these because we're kind of beating this to death. But Bloodborne 2, I know we're probably not going to. Miyazaki himself said it's not happening. They're working on new IP, but whatever. Bioshock 4, I know that's probably not happening either, but that would be great to see. I'd be excited for that. Ni no Kuni 2.
That might happen.
Didn't love the first one, but yeah, I could see that happening. People really liked the first one. I was not one of them, but I saw a glimmer of something I really liked. So,
Didn't that get announced?
yeah, I think it did. But then that was it. There was just like one
It did get announced.
bit of information, but we haven't seen anything since.
Yeah, it was at the PlayStation Experience, I believe.
Awesome. I want to know what Kojima's working on for Sony. Did somebody say that already?
No, but you're right.
That would be cool to see. Pokemon
Yeah.
Go. More info on Pokemon Go.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe some Cyberpunk 2077 info.
I'm hoping for that too.
And that's it for me.
Okay. What do you got, Eric?
Nothing, Dan. This is the least I've cared about E3 in a long time.
That's kind of my thing too. Like I as I said, I'm going in with very low expectations, and I
Me
hope
too.
I'm surprised.
Who's gonna watch?
I'm gonna
When
watch
is
as
it?
much as I can. They're
Same.
all like at bad times, of course. Like the conferences are like when I have to take Max to school or when I've got to leave to go pick him up from school. They're all in that bad time frame. So
So I get out of work at 5 on Monday.
yeah, I think one starts at noon on Monday and one's at like 3.
No.
I'm gonna have
Hasn't
to watch.
Sony been at like 8?
Monday is all after 5.
Oh, good.
Are you sure?
Then I'll probably watch.
Is it Tuesday that they're during the day?
The only thing on Tuesday is the Nintendo Treehouse,
Are you
which
sure?
starts at noon. June
I'm
14th.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure I looked and
Xbox
Were you-
starts at 5:30 p.m. Oh shit. 12:30 p.m. Eastern.
You were looking at
Exactly.
Pacific.
No, I was looking
Oh,
at
that wouldn't even work either.
yeah, I was looking at British Standard Time.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry. Xbox is 12:30 on Monday.
Yep.
The PC show is at 2:30. Ubisoft is at 4. PlayStation is at 9. Yeah.
I'll watch the PlayStation one.
Yeah, that's probably the only one I'm gonna be able to watch live.
I'll be able to watch them all. It actually works out perfectly for
Oh,
my
perfect.
for my schedule. So
Can you live tweet, Corey? Thank you.
I'll try.
All right.
He's not going to.
No,
Maybe I'll turn on the stream, and if you guys want to come join me and hang out for a little bit, we can chat and watch together.
I'll see what I can do.
Like I said, I get out at 5, so I don't know. We could do that for the Sony one. Show.
Faux show.
All right, nibble bits. Will,
Oh, I only have one actually.
let's hear it.
1 sec. Sorry, this came up quick on me.
Oh, that's fine.
So Nintendo did a poll of the most popular Pokemon. Now, who would you guys guess would be the most popular Pokemon?
Pikachu.
Charizard.
Greninja.
I know
Both-
who it is.
Mewtwo.
Both good guess. Pikachu didn't crack the top 3.
What?
Charizard was not in the top 12.
Wow.
Actually, I lied. He's 9, so he is there. It's actually Greninja.
Yeah.
Didn't Corey say the Greninja?
You probably
he read the article.
he read
before.
the article. That's why
If
I
I-
ignored Corey when he said it.
He could have fooled me. Should have.
That's why I said Charizard. I knew it was Greninja, but I figured
I,
that's who I would have picked before I read that.
Really?
Who'd
Yeah.
they pull? You would have picked Greninja, Dan?
No, I said I would have picked Charizard.
Oh.
Oh, okay. They pretty much what was it? It was a Pokemon event that they had in Tokyo, and they got pulled there, and it was almost like 6,000 people that they.
So
or
this is-
600,000 people. Sorry.
This is the most popular Pokemon amongst people that would go to a Pokemon convention.
You know,
In
I was
Tokyo.
kind of surprised by the answer, but when you break it down, like Greninja is like a ninja, like water Pokemon. Looks kind of cool.
In Smash Brothers.
He's pretty awesome in Smash Brothers. So like, I'm not that surprised. I just figured it would be Pikachu.
Sure.
Pikachu is the only one I give a shit about.
And number 2 is just as surprising to me.
was it?
Geodude.
It it's like
Snorlax.
it's Arceus is how it's pronounced.
I
I
don't even
think
know who that is.
that's a newer Pokemon, but then it's Mew, which is a really popular Pokemon. Then Pikachu, Sylveon, which is a new Pokemon.
Come on, I'm
That's-
getting out of hand.
That's top 5, and then Charizard's 9, Mewtwo's 11, Eevee's 12.
I was listening to the IGN's Nintendo Voice Chat podcast, the most recent one, and they talked a lot about, because I guess some new info came out on Sun and Moon,
Yeah, a lot of stuff
and
actually.
they brought in all their Pokemon experts to talk about it, and it kind of got me excited for Pokemon.
That's right.
Corey,
Even though,
come on.
Yeah, I know.
Come on, Corey. Just do
There's
it.
a little guy on my shoulder telling me, "Don't care about it. You're not gonna like it anyway.
It'll be
Don't
the
care
same.
about it. They're all the same."
Yeah.
Well, your situation, Corey, is you would have to buy a new 3DS anyway. So
I got one.
you have Will's, who's going to want it back.
That's not Will's.
Have you even played Fire Emblem within the last week?
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about it and what we played.
Okay.
You told me I didn't have a deadline.
I hope you hate it.
Well, the
So I
deadline
can
He
pay
doesn't
it back.
He already said at the beginning he's playing 2 games he loves.
the
Oh yeah, good point.
the deadline is going to be
Hearthstone.
And
No, it's
Rocket League.
Hearts of
Yeah.
Hearts of Iron.
Some things
Hearts
never
of Iron
change.
and Fire Emblem.
Sorry, Dan. Go on.
No, I was just going to say Corey's deadline is when the new Pokemon comes out.
You better believe it.
That's fair.
Will knows where you live, so
I will steal it if I have to.
Uh,
The Pokemon argument is something that I'm not even going to indulge you guys with.
That's fine. I don't have the energy.
Corey's.
no, they made Pokemon sound like it was actually like a strategy game.
It kind of is to
I know.
Very basic.
very light extent.
Yeah,
well, it's for
but they-
5-year-olds.
It's the blizzard of strategy games.
Exactly. It's yeah, Will, you nailed it. It's for 5-year-olds. It's strategy for 5-year-olds. But they talked about the competitive scene and how the new Pokemon, how they will change things up in the competitive scene and stuff like that. And it all sounded they made it sound really cool, but I know deep down.
That's weird because you're making it sound way dorkier.
you're ruining it for our listening audience.
I maintain that the best Pokemon games ever made were Pokemon Snap and Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they're good.
All right.
Very
As
good.
long as you're willing to admit that.
They're not my favorite, but they're some of the best.
Fair enough.
And Beardless is right. People like that stupid god Pokemon thing. I guess that's Arceus.
Pokemon Stadium or no, Pokemon Snap 2 NX launch title.
Don't
If-
even.
If they announced Pokemon Stadium and Snap
Pokemon
2 for the NX, Eric would.
Forget it. Forget it.
How
There.
how would Christy feel about you buying 2 Pokemon games?
She doesn't need to know.
That's right.
She would pick on me to no end.
Pokemans.
I honestly can't even imagine the ridicule I'd get for that.
Just hide them.
I would.
Which would be worse? The Pokemon, well, we'll say Pokemon Snap 2 or Pokemon Go that you play on your phone and capture Pokemon, augmented reality Pokemon.
I don't
Which-
know, to be honest with you, because what I'm picturing in my head is me sitting there in my chair taking fake pictures of Pokemon,
Uh-huh.
and her walking in after a 12-hour shift at the hospital and just turning right back around and leaving.
Okay, here's this scenario. You guys are walking. Okay, you've got Pokemon Go on your phone. You guys are walking around the farmer's market. You get the little tingle in your pocket telling you there's a Pokemon nearby.
An Articuno.
The
so it's
Squirtle's
legendary.
hiding in the broccoli patch.
You're like, hold on, I've got to catch this Pokemon. Would that go
Here's
over
the thing.
better than?
The thing is, Dan, I can be pretty discreet
Okay,
with Pokemon Go.
Sure.
I
'Cause it's on your
cannot
phone.
be as discreet with Pokemon Snap.
Sure. Because you can just pull out your phone and pretend you're like looking at something.
SimCity.
Gotcha.
Oh, what are you looking at, Eric? Football scores.
Shut up, Arsenal's playing.
You're absolutely right, though. The phone is far more discreet than
Yeah.
than actually sitting and playing it on your TV.
Just make sure the
Okay.
sound is off or something.
Yeah.
What's that?
Just make sure sound is off.
Yeah. Okay. That was your nibble bit, Will?
Yep.
Okay. I've got 2 quick ones, so I'll go next. Free to play MMORPG WildStar will be available on Steam starting tomorrow, June 9th, 2016. I've played a little WildStar. I know Will has. Corey, you have WildStar? Did you play
it?
WildStar?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Woodrow, remember Woodrow?
Sure. I played it and liked it. It didn't stick with me because I just don't have the time anymore to play MMORPGs. But if you've been curious about it, now's the time to give it a shot on Steam.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the combat system and all that stuff. So it was a very active combat system like Guild Wars 2 had, which was nice. And then my other nibble bit is HTC has announced that there should no longer be any delays for the ordered Vive headsets, and that new orders will be shipped within 2 to 3 days. So that's good. And that's all I got.
They're now not on the, or they're not short anymore, I guess you can say.
Yeah, they've caught up on production. So, Corey, what do you got?
I've got a bunch, but I don't really feel like getting into them.
Mhm.
And I keep hearing a beeping in my apartment that I have never heard before.
It's the ghost.
Smoke
It's
alarm.
definitely a burglar.
Oh, it could be smoke alarm. Battery going, maybe?
Yep.
No, there's a fire.
They did spray for bees today.
I don't think that would beep.
The spray.
Anyway, I'll figure that out later. Must not be important.
As one does.
Is Fiona just laying
Yeah,
there?
I get it
Or is
later.
she, like, looking around.
Next week? Nah, I'll handle that tomorrow. The official Undertale soundtrack is now available on Spotify and iTunes. I think Undertale won our soundtrack
Yeah, best
last year.
soundtrack.
And that
Yeah.
Snowden song. Oh, yeah.
Who hated Undertale? I don't remember. Was it Eric or Corey?
I didn't play it.
So was Corey.
No, I liked Undertale.
He didn't love it.
I didn't think it was the 98 on Metacritic or whatever that people were just gushing over it, and I thought it was really good, but not. Here I am defending it again because we had an argument about this on the podcast.
I remember now.
That's right.
It won like my top 5 game of the year, and you guys were giving me shit about it, and I'm like, no, like I like it. It's in my top 5. Like, cut me some slack. I'm just pointing out why I don't think it's better than that. Like,
Yeah, but sometimes we just want to pick a fight, though. You know.
But
Fun.
at every turn, you were defending it.
You were. I do remember.
Oh,
you
that's
You
were-
did
right.
nothing but praise it the entire time, but then
That's
you were like,
right.
"Yeah, it's really not that good."
That's right.
that was my point, and I'm gonna
Right,
try and make here again. Of course, I would praise it considering it was in my top 5 games of last year.
But overall, it's
No, it's a good game.
Is
by
it
the
great?
sounds, it's a
Good
great
game,
It's a great game.
but not worth the. Like you said, not worth the.
It's not game of the year. That's
on
it.
Metacritic.
It's a top 5 game of last year.
I want to go back and listen to the original conversation in our Thummy Awards from last year.
And you know what you'll say to yourself? I see Corey's point.
No, because
That's usually what I end up saying.
I don't think
Thanks.
you could on that one. I vividly remember Corey talking about how it was like I forgot your exact words, but you said it was like game changing or something like that.
No, I didn't say
You-
I wouldn't.
you said-
I would not use that phrase.
Not that phrase, but you said something to that extent, and then you said it's all right.
Because I remember, like, this past Thummy Awards was almost like me and Corey versus Dan and Will.
Yeah.
And I remember saying at one point, I got to take their side on this one, Corey. It sounds like you love that game. Something along those lines happened.
Yep.
Yeah, because I do. I don't know what
But
we're
at the
arguing
same
about.
time, you hate it.
No, I like it a lot.
I don't know. You were getting kind of mad that Dan and I loved it so much.
I'm getting pissed right now.
That's what it was, because he was getting so mad that Dan loved it so much.
No,
So
that wasn't it. That
so he was
wasn't.
getting upset about it, but then he kept saying how good it was.
No, that wasn't it at all. I challenge all 3 of you to go back and listen.
I'm not going to do that, but
Nope.
I thought it was the other way around. I thought he spent the entire episode tearing it down.
No,
And
no, no, no.
It was the other way around.
I
He
think
spent
Dan's
the
right.
entire episode talking about how great it was.
No, if I remember, I don't really remember, but my recollection of the conversation was, that like everything I said about it was kind of negative,
Yeah.
and then I had it in my top whatever
I think you're right. I think it was he spent most of the episode tearing it down
It
because
could be.
we had it for other things, high on the list. And then when it came time to talk about like our top 5 favorite games of the year, that's when he praised it. But Eric's right. Also, he said that he had to take mine and Will's side because of.
Oh
Corey's-
yeah,
So
I remember that part too. Yeah.
Because of Corey's nonsense.
Yeah.
it was during Best Indie because I also remember it was fresh off the console argument where me and Eric argued about that for 15, 20 minutes
God
again.
knows how long.
So after that, Eric was kind of checked out because he.
I was so angered by Will.
So then after sitting there and just listening to it, he said that he agreed with you and I, Dan.
That's right.
Well,
I think you're right.
at a certain point, you sort of realize how much alcohol you've been drinking, and it's like, if I try and articulate my way out of this, it's not gonna work. So I'll just not speak.
Yeah.
That's my logic. Anyway, heading into the thummies.
So for the record, Corey hates Undertale.
I hate it.
That's what I gather.
Terrible game. So bad, it only made my 5th favorite game of last year. So
I thought Soma
Yeah.
did.
I don't remember. I really don't. Soma's a great game. Did you end up playing it yet, Dan?
Mm-mm.
Didn't you buy it though, right?
No, I was going to,
Oh.
but when it went on sale for like 50% off or whatever, I just couldn't afford it. I just bought something else. I think just
Okay.
a new game.
Dead Rising 4 is real, according to image leaks on a little website called This Gen Gaming. It appears to show Frank West riding in the snow. So it's apparently set in Willamette, Colorado. At least people are speculating, which is where the first one was. So people are further speculating that it could be a remake, reimagining, whatever. And that comes courtesy of Jason Schreier at Kotaku. So, he's one of the guys that's really in the know, like a lot of relationships inside the industry.
Outsiders. Mhm.
So I feel like a lot of these articles, he's just waiting for somebody else to cover because he doesn't have the approvals or whatever. So somebody else gets the leak, they run the story, like in this case, and then he runs the story, confirming it.
Not just that, but he's the one that got all the death threats for putting out the rumor that No Man's Sky was delayed. He's the one.
Yep.
People said they were going to kill because he published the rumor that No Man's Sky was delayed.
Wait. They were threatening him?
Yeah.
They were threatening him.
I thought Sean Murray got a bunch of death
He
threats.
did too.
He did, yeah. But so
People, get it together.
That's exactly what I said on this podcast. And was that last week when I said that?
Yep.
It's embarrassing.
Here, first of all, it's a 2-month delay?
Yeah.
A 2-month is nothing.
Well, the funny part is, and he talked about this on Kotaku Split Screen, the Kotaku podcast. What happened was after he reported on the leak, somehow, or the delay, somehow it got out that the delay was only like a few days, and so like people were really giving him a hard time and saying they were going to kill him and stuff, because like why would Kotaku make such a big deal about only a couple day delay? Like what an idiot! You're a bunch of whatevers. And Jason's just like, no, just wait. Like the truth will come out. Just you'll see, people. And then they did. They actually ended up confirming it, but they did it on the Friday of Memorial, like late in the day of Memorial Day weekend, to bury the news.
Yeah. Even if it was only a few days, like they were just reporting a delay. Like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Whatever.
It's embarrassing.
The internet is a really bad place a lot of times.
Yep.
All the time.
All the time. Yeah.
95% of the time.
When is the internet a good place? Extra life.
When you're not on social media.
I like Twitter a lot.
How come we don't
I
tweet
get-
back and forth very often, Eric?
Are you on Twitter a lot?
No, not as much as I'd like to be. But if I had like ongoing conversations with people, I would be on it more.
We probably don't because we use WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Why would we use Twitter?
Twitter seems like an unnecessary step to
It
converse
is.
with each other.
Yeah. I don't know. There's just I get on Twitter and I follow certain people. I like hate follow certain people, and I just don't.
Like Colin?
Yeah. Oh God.
I had the idea for a segment, speaking of the internet being just a terrible place sometimes. This would involve work, so like it's not really
Not
gonna
gonna
happen.
not gonna come to fruition.
But going to like Twitter or Facebook or random forums and just taking the most insane, crazy comments from people and like reading them here and having a good chuckle.
I like that.
Like,
Like we could call the segment "Lowest Common Denominator."
yeah, it's something like that. Well, because I listen to a hockey podcast and they are subscribed to like some Facebook thing and they read like the dumbest comments and like these Facebook threads and just laugh at the people.
Yeah.
I was like, that would be kind of funny because games are 10 times more insane with the people in there and it with like death threats. Like nobody's death threatening hockey stuff.
No, sports forums are pretty bad too.
That's true.
I can attest my sports anger is always worse than any other anger I get. The one time I tried to start a fight at a bar, it was over sports.
I was there, right? Was that Nonianta?
That's a good
Yep.
point.
Yeah. Do you guys ever visit the I Am Very Smart subreddit?
I don't use Reddit as much as I should.
No.
Okay. Never mind.
Okay.
But check it out. It's good stuff.
Is it
Peop-
funny?
Oh, yeah. It's people who say, like, actually, my IQ is 162.
Do you have a good
That kind of
app
stuff.
for Reddit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's an official
Reddit.
Reddit app now. It's really
That's
good.
a good one?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
No,
better.
it's
Will,
not.
Will says no.
I disagree. I think it's better
I-
than all the older third-party ones.
I have to sign in every time. Like, I do it. I don't remember my Reddit
Because
log.
you just have a jank ass phone.
Yeah, I haven't needed to sign. I signed in once and it stayed.
Yeah, same here.
I'm gonna download it.
Well, they got rid of Alien Blue, so.
Anyway, back to the task at hand. This one's kind of interesting. The fan remake of the canceled Battlefront 3 will launch on Steam. So it was formerly this team of modders, and now they're actually a development studio called Frontwire Studios. And the fan remake is called Galaxy in Turmoil. It was originally a CryEngine mod. Now it's being built using Unreal 3. And Valve has actually agreed to release this fan remake of Battlefront 3 on Steam for free.
Wow.
So a lot of people are speculating, like, oh, it's only a matter of time until they get a cease and desist from Disney. Somebody commented, though, that traditionally Star Wars fan projects are ignored as long as no money is being exchanged.
I was gonna say if they had charged for it, it would have been shut down. But it's like, you know, the I don't know. It's not. It's just a mod. You know?
Yeah.
It's-
Well, I think I read this, I think it was a Mike Fahey article, and he said that the difference with this one is that they're now a fully fledged development studio, and even if they're not making money off of this, they're profiting in other ways,
yeah. Sure.
which I could see. So who knows? And Disney owns Star Wars now, so I mean, Disney could drop the banhammer
At
instantly.
any time.
Yeah, so who knows with that. I don't know, like, so Battlefront 3 was canceled, and a bunch of fans got together and made something that looks like it. Like, I don't understand what they're remaking.
No idea.
Well, I don't know.
No clue.
Apparently we'll all be able to try it for free pretty soon.
Sweet.
Or maybe not. XCOM 2 is coming to consoles September 6th.
No surprise.
I forgot about that game.
Don't bother.
It's good.
Nah.
The only
Game
reason I didn't
sucks.
like the only reason I didn't like initially is because it ran so terribly.
Does it run better now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, does it
Yeah.
run a lot better?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Way
Oh.
better.
Maybe I might be interested then.
I mean,
Might go back.
it's not perfect, but
Wait, does it still have all that jank that Corey was talking about with the cheap AI?
yeah, a little bit.
I'm not interested in that.
Yep.
The
Sounds like a headache.
Yeah, well, the strategy of the enemy is to make sure you have the least amount of fun possible in combat.
That's what I gathered from when you talked about it, Corey.
Yeah.
And at this point in my gaming, I just want to have fun
Yeah.
and literally no challenge whatsoever,
Yeah.
which is why I play SimCity.
Yep.
build it on my phone.
Hmm.
My main issue, the annoying enemies aside, is the RNG, numbers like for hitting.
Yep.
Like I felt like I hit more with a 70% chance of hitting than a 95% chance of hitting.
Yep.
Like and I've talked about and a lot of people say, "Oh, well, welcome to XCOM, blah blah blah." But like if you're planning out your strategy, you have a 95% chance of hitting. It means you should only miss 5 times out of 100. Like if you're relying on that to not die or whatever.
Like I said,
It should just be automatic.
least amount of fun possible.
Yeah.
I'm
That
with
was
you. I'm with
that
you.
was my frustration with the first one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's hard to like. It's like you were saying, like developing a strategy and stuff. It's hard to do that in this game, and I think this game would be so much better if you could actually have a strategy and implement it and feel rewarded for successfully completing it. But the enemy just deals in jank to the point where it's impossible. Like, yeah, there's basic things like, oh, get your sniper up high and use whatchamacallit, the whatever ability. But I don't really
Overwatch.
consider that a strategy. That's just like
That's
an
basic
element of
game
gameplay.
mechanics.
Yeah.
But yeah, basic thought.
I don't know. That's what turned me off to it.
Corey, real quick, what was that Reddit again?
I am very smart.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Chrono Trigger's original director has endorsed a remake of the classic RPG. Takashi Tokita told Game Informer, personally, if there is ever an opportunity, I would love to see a high-quality, high-end version of Chrono Trigger.
All right.
Yeah. I just thought that was neat. You say no, Dan?
No,
Why not?
I didn't want to see a Final Fantasy VII remake either.
Oh my god.
Leave it alone. Come up with something new.
You
It's
old,
like Dumb and Dumber.
old curmudgeon. This is
Touch it.
way different.
No, it's
Way
not.
different. Because what are
The
you gonna do differently in Dumb and Dumber? A remake of it.
I don't think
new
that-
actors, like nothing. We're talking
This
about
is out
like
of my realm.
a complete technical like overhaul of graphics and sound and writing and like all that stuff can be.
Then why don't they just make a new game? Why don't they make Chrono Trigger 2 rather than trying to remake the original?
Well, the first answer would be business,
What do you mean?
money.
money.
What? Yeah,
Cheddar.
but why would Chrono Trigger 2 or Chrono Trigger Remaster draw in any more money than Chrono Trigger 2?
Well, it preys on people's nostalgia first of all.
Yeah, but it's
Uh,
still Chrono Trigger. It's just going to be a new game,
It's
rather
less-
than trying to go back and bring the old one into the modern era. Just make a new one.
I mean, okay, I see your point, and I would like to have both. I would like to revisit Chrono Trigger, modernized, and like I get that you don't care about the remakes, and that's fine. But you'll always have the original Chrono Trigger. It's not going away.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know.
I still like the whole remake remaster culture. It's in movies and stuff. Like, let's just get some new ideas, or just don't do it.
But some of them are really good.
Some of them are really good, but I would say the good ones are few and far between, and the bad ones are.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think you're right. There's definitely more bad ones than there are good ones. But
Yeah.
when the good ones hit, sometimes it can be pretty special.
Sure.
Like the Dead Island remasters.
Yeah, I can't wait for those.
They remastered Dead Island.
No, both of them.
Why? Those games came out didn't the first Dead Island come out 4 years ago?
Yep.
I think remake or remaster, that's just a marketing term anymore for.
For a
It's just-
remake or a remaster.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's to create marketing buzz. It's algorithm. Like, oh, we'll make this many dollars by calling a slightly upgraded version of Dead Island a remake or a remaster.
I see your point.
Yeah.
So they're using that word without putting in the proper
Sure.
legwork to
Yeah.
achieve that word.
Yep.
Starbreeze Studios acquired the rights to CinemaWare's classic video game catalog, including the game I can never remember the name of, but I always talk about, Defender of the Crown.
Yeah. That was good.
Yeah. 15 total IPs were included for a grand total of 525,000 euros, which is almost 600,000 US dollars. Some of the other games I wasn't familiar with, but it came from the desert. You guys familiar with that one at all?
No.
And the TV Sports series. I guess there was a TV Sports Hockey, TV Sports Basketball, TV Sports Football. I wasn't familiar with any of those either, but people seem to be fond of those. And Starbreeze, of course, is the studio that brought us Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, The Darkness, and Payday 2, among others. But those were the ones I pulled out. So that's cool. I'd like to see a new Defender of the Crown.
Yeah, definitely.
That would be fun. Like, just with it'd kind of be like Sid Meier's Pirates almost.
Yeah.
Like just
See,
a bunch
again,
of different gameplay types mixed into
that's
one
an
big game.
example of it's you're using classic gameplay elements, but bringing bringing it, modernizing it a little bit. And it didn't really change all that much, but
Right.
and that's the example of a good remaster.
Yeah. Definitely. Speaking of good remasters, gender fluidity comes to The Sims 4. Read the headline on lazygamer.net. I thought they could summarize it a little bit better, and I like the phrase gender fluidity. It's very 2016.
Very PC.
Very modern.
Gender fluidity. New
Hawk.
free update allows clothes, hairstyles, physiques, walk styles, tone of voice, fluidity between the genders, meaning there's no boundaries. You can be a gentleman with a nice, long
Saunter.
Dolly Parton hairdo with
Who's the
sexy strut.
Who's the guy in Fight Club with the big boobs?
Meatloaf.
Meatloaf, I know, but what was his character's name in the movie?
Wasn't it like Bob?
Oh, well, yeah, it was Bob, I think.
I thought he had like a
He had a nickname.
a fighting name. Yeah,
It's not
nickname.
right. That's not
It
right
was-
at all.
It's not Bob?
I don't know. Hold on, I'll find it.
Oh,
But that's what I thought of when I read that article.
I don't know. Well, Eric's looking that up.
It was Bob.
It was Bob. What
It
was his nickname?
Robert Bob Paulson.
Really?
he had a nickname.
I don't know, guys. I think you're full of shit.
I swear he had a nickname in Fight Club. Maybe not.
It was he did.
While we're looking this up, Jake brings up a good question in the chat. Was the first remaster the Mario All-Stars for SNES?
First remaster. Maybe.
Remember that? Mario All-Stars?
Yeah,
All the
course.
games in one? Because they upgraded the backgrounds.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what else they did. Save, the ability to save.
That's actually a really, really good question. It would be interesting to see what would be technically considered the first remaster.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I mean, we could Google it. I'm not going to, but
There's got to be like such and such collection.
yeah, of like older PC games, old that they maybe put on a floppy drive or whatever.
Well, the first sentence in the Wikipedia article on video game remakes. In the early history of video games, remakes were generally regarded as conversions and seldom associated with nostalgia. So, an early example was Gunfight, Midway's 1975 reprogrammed version of Tato's arcade game Western Gun, with the main difference being the use of a microprocessor in the reprogrammed version, which allowed for improved graphics and smoother animation. So, but yeah, I think in terms of like the remakes that we're seeing today, which do prey on nostalgia more than anything else, I don't know. The earliest I can think of is Mario All-Stars.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
Bob
nice.
was his nickname, boys.
Okay.
They made fun of him for his boobs. I don't
Yeah,
remember
They
what
called
it
him
was.
bitch tits.
Thank
That's
you.
what it was.
Thank
That's
you.
what I was looking for.
But
Thank-
his alternate name is Bob.
Now,
Okay.
why did he have boobs?
He took too
Yeah.
many steroids and he got
Yeah.
testicular cancer and had a hormone imbalance.
Uh,
I just read about him on the wiki.
That's what I did too.
You
Gynecomastia.
thought I just knew all that, didn't you?
I did.
You're like, damn, Eric knows something.
If you had not said that, I would have just thought you knew that off the top of your head.
No,
It's been a few years since I've seen Fight Club, and I didn't remember
it's a
any of
good
that.
flick.
It is a good flick.
Oh, somebody. I got knocked on Reddit for making calling Fight Club a clever movie.
You got knocked?
Yeah.
Really?
Apparently, people don't think that way.
I thought it was
populist
loved.
opinion. So did I.
This is clever.
It's Reddit.
Oh,
Whatever.
everybody has an opinion on
Probably
Reddit.
a good reason I don't go on Reddit very often.
Oh yeah.
It's funny the stupid things that start arguments on Reddit or like in a comment section underneath a video game article. Like just the dumbest, most like an innocuous comment that someone makes will just start a huge flame war. It's
Oh
ins-
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't agree with the Reddit hive mind, you're gonna get torn apart. That's how it
Sure.
works.
God.
Well, it's not even the hive mind anymore. I don't know if you guys are following the Reddit drama on the the Donald subreddit.
No.
Of course, it's on the Donald sub.
Yeah. Apparently, there's some censorship going on on Reddit.
Well, there's always been censorship on Reddit.
Yeah.
It's people who are mods with authority, you know.
I guess
Shut
it goes a little further
down.
than that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But that's a topic for
Yeah,
another time and
like
place.
when I used to follow like the Reddit technology thing, and then there was Reddit tech. Like the Reddit technology one had overzealous mods who, you know, wielded their little bit of Reddit authority with reckless abandon.
Yeah, there's certain people you give them a little bit of power and they just
Yeah, the Eric Cartmans of the world,
yeah.
all monitor. Anyway, anywho,
Yeah, let's get through these. Metal Gear Pachinko. It's a thing.
Sweet.
It's real now.
Whatever.
Called Metal Gear Snake Eater.
Is pachinko? Is that just like slot machines? Is that what that is?
More or less. It's like, you know the Mitomo drop mini game?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, but much crazier.
fascinating.
So, but anyway, it's just funny. Like, what a fu to
Yeah,
Kojima and what he created.
Yeah. Well, guess what? He's gonna put another game out that's gonna sell gangbusters, and they can have their pachinko.
It'll be called Gettlemere. Mortal Kombat licensed beer is coming. It's a thing. From the Pools Bowl, Washington. Yeah, Pools Bowl, Washington's Sound Brewery is the name of the brewery. I actually looked up the brewery website, and I thought it was kind of weird because they seem like a really small brewery. Their website seems like it was handcrafted by like a high schooler in a web design class. And it didn't seem to fit in with their branding at all. Like they had very Belgian-y kind of beers, but not like fancy Belgian, just like basic Belgian. And I don't see how that ties in with Mortal Kombat at all. Because Dan, you remember when we went to the Omegang Brewery? And I don't know if you were with me when we were talking about the Game of Thrones stuff,
Mhm.
and how much that branding just seemed to fit in perfectly already. Like it was already, it's like the Game of Thrones beer was tailor made for that brewery.
sure.
I didn't see that connection at all with Mortal Kombat in this brewery. But hey, good for them. I'm sure it'll do well for them because people are going to be ordering it and stuff if they do online sales. I didn't
Their
look that far
website's
into it.
a bit shitty too.
Well, that's what I said.
Oh yeah. Well, you were right.
I'll read off the beers and their descriptions because I think they're kind of interesting. The Sub-Zero Imperial IPA. It's refreshingly cooling on a warm day. An Imperial India Pale Ale that's not all about the hops or the malt, but is a whole lot of both fighting it out for your palate supremacy. Drink icy for more of the hops or warmer for more malt. Okay. The Raiden Imperial Saison. This amped up Imperial Saison has a blast of hops and CO2 that will hit your tongue with a bang. The aroma jumps out of the glass with its earthly and herbal notes not far behind. And the Scorpion Imperial Stout. A unique blend for great Imperial Stout brings both fire and ice into your glass. Ooh, is that a Game of Thrones reference?
How dare they?
The fiery,
Definitely not.
the fiery Southwest chilies and cooling Madagascar vanilla bean pair nicely with the exotic notes produced by our own yeast strain. I don't like stouts, but that one actually sounds pretty good.
How dare you?
Is that it?
Yeah, those three.
They should have made a Johnny Cage one, and all the tagline says, "It will
No,
punch you in the dick."
Yeah, like I don't
Yeah,
that's a
understand.
seller.
I would, yeah, exactly. I don't understand
Absolutely.
this partnership. Don't you agree though, Eric? Looking at their website, like how does this have anything to do with Mortal Kombat?
I'm shocked it's even a real brewery, to be honest.
Yeah,
It's very poorly put together.
it's bizarre. I didn't.
Yeah,
I
but
wanted
nothing
To,
screams Mortal Kombat about that.
that's true. Yeah. Well, I wanted to look at like the images of their tasting room or something. Maybe there's something in there, but I didn't get a chance to do that. So
We'll look up the tasting room, and it's just old arcade machines and
temples. It's
Yeah.
based on. Yeah, never mind. That's it for my nibble bits.
What do you got, Eric?
Oh, let's see, Daniel. I got a few here. First, I'll start off with another remaster. Shocking, I know. Final Fantasy XII is being remastered and will be coming to North America in 2017. They're calling it Final Fantasy XII: The Zodiac Age. What are our thoughts on that one?
Give me all the Final Fantasy remasters so I can play them.
Have you played 12?
No.
All right.
I'm just
I've
waiting for 12 to be on Steam. Did they put it on Steam yet?
No, I don't think so.
It's coming.
I'm excited for that one, Eric, because that one could really benefit from a slight graphical upgrade.
Is that a good one?
Yeah.
Besides revamped character models and cutscenes, the game will also feature autosave, shorter load times, and improved turbo mode. And they will re-record the score, but you can also play the original. This is from Kotaku. Secondly, Sony's big exclusive for this fall, Horizon Zero Dawn, has been delayed until February. Now, I don't believe they actually had an official release date. They just pretty much said it was going to be this year. But no, it is not going to be this year. It's pushed back to February, which seems to be the thing anymore these days, is all these games get pushed back to like February, March. So that's fine.
It sucks they all come out at the same time now, though. It used to be a lot of games in the fall, and if they staggered them a little bit, it would be great. But
Right.
now there's a bunch of early in the year now, too.
Right. And my last one, Saints Row developer Volition has announced their new game. It's an open world single player game called Agents of Mayhem. I'm just going to read off kind of some of the Amazon descriptions of the game. So I guess you pick a squad of 3 out of 12 heroes or characters, however you want to describe them, each with their own abilities and whatnot. So you can kind of swap between the 3 agents that you pick in the gameplay, which is kind of cool. It's set in the capital of South Korea, which is kind of neat, and that's pretty much it.
Is that Pyongyang or South Korea?
Seoul, isn't it?
Seoul is the capital.
I believe so. Yeah.
Cool.
So, inspired by an assortment of past and present pop culture revolving around superheroes, comics, and Saturday morning cartoons.
Nice.
I like it.
So that sounds pretty interesting.
I'm interested.
I know Dan is a huge fan of the Saints Row series.
Yep. Saints Row the 3rd was amazing. Saints Row 4 was also really good. Okay.
That was it for me.
How was your week, Eric?
Pretty good. Let's see. What do I got here? Let me
Or
pull up
2
my notes.
2 weeks, I guess.
2 weeks, yeah. So the 1 week I was out of town for work. I was down helping open a new store in Richmond. That was work, so nothing really to discuss there. The next week, let's see, my sister-in-law came down with my nieces again. That was fun. We went to Richmond one day. We took them to some children's museum, which pretty much sealed for me that I don't think I want to have kids. because every parent I saw there could not have looked more miserable.
Oh yeah, kids' places are awful. We
Yeah.
try not to take our kids to specific kids' places because they don't like it either. Because they're just crowded with screaming kids everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm lucky that my kids are, at least thus far, a lot like me, and they don't like that sort of thing.
Yeah. So then we went out for we went to this place called Maymont. It's like an old historic mansion kind of thing down here. And then we went out for some Mexican food, and it was pretty good. I left it in the car too long, but me being an idiot decided, I'll eat it anyway. Well, I'm pretty sure I got a minor case of food poisoning from it, which at least it was minor because, as you guys know, I've had some pretty bad cases of food poisoning in my day.
You have.
But I just have been feeling a little bit off, a little, especially yesterday, which sucked because I had a concert to go to last night. So I went to see The Tallest Man on Earth. He's a singer-songwriter from Sweden, plays a lot of acoustic stuff. The biggest thing, I started listening to him a couple years ago. His songs are a little bit somber, which is what I liked about him, and he's got a real distinct voice. He's always been a guy I've always equated to drinking whiskey while you listen to his music. So a couple things kind of threw me off when I saw him in live. He's a lot happier than I anticipated.
Oh man.
Which I didn't like that.
Yeah.
Is that wrong of me?
No. That's not
I was
wrong.
like, wait a minute, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
This isn't the guy I've been listening to.
Mm-hmm.
That guy wants to kill himself. This guy's happy as a lark up here.
The best musicians are the most miserable.
Well, same with comedians.
Yeah.
And so I was a little bit thrown off by that. Great musician, though. I mean, he is fantastic at guitar. He's a great singer. He's got a lot of stage presence. I guess it just wasn't the stage presence I was looking for from him, which is fine. But my biggest takeaway from the concert, and I wanted to see what you guys thought about this. I don't know if I'm just getting old or what it is. I was not at a Metallica concert, right? I'm at a Tallest Man on Earth concert, which is a quiet music. It's a music you kind of got to get the feel for and really listen to and get into. You know what I mean?
Was there a
Kinda-
mosh pit?
No, nothing like that. But you kind of got to get lost in it. You know what I mean? And get the feel for it. Well, of course, standing next to us is three guys, one of whom is super drunk guy at the concert.
Oh.
You know that guy. Like big burly super drunk guy who keeps dipping down to take a hit off his flask, which is fine. Just don't be a dickhead.
Yeah.
That's all I ask.
Get your shit together, buddy.
Yeah.
So Tallest Man on Earth comes out, and he specifically asks, in a funny way, he wasn't like a dick about it. He made a whole spiel about how he put a curse on some kittens years ago back in his home country, and if you talk during his set, the kittens get massive hangover headaches. So he did a whole thing about it. So he asked people not to talk, just to enjoy the music, which I totally appreciated
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
because that's the kind of music it is.
Yeah.
This fucking guy would not shut up. He was talking so loud and thought everybody needed to hear what he was saying. I was getting so fucking mad. And a younger Eric may have said something to this guy, but I held my tongue. I'm there with my wife. I'm not trying to be an idiot. But it just got to a point where we had to move from where we were standing, and it's just people are so fucking inconsiderate. It's hard to even want to leave your house anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Eric, that's why people ruin things for me. That's why I don't go to the movie theater.
Is that me just being old though?
No.
No. I mean, I've always preferred to stay home and do things at my own pace on my own time without anyone else bothering me. You know?
Because the thing with me is I've never been guy at a Bills game who's like, hey, sit the fuck down in front of me so I can see.
Yeah.
That's not me. I don't expect that at a live football game. But I also, when I go to a concert, if it's a concert like the one I went to, I don't expect everybody to be loud while the music's playing because it's a softer music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, I got so mad. But I don't know. So that put kind of a damper
Was he
on the concert experience.
was he trying to be like funny guy too?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's the
He
worst.
absolutely was. I did want to mention, but the music itself was really good. I did want to mention the guy that opened for him. His name was John Mark Nelson. Really enjoyed his set. It was just him, an acoustic guitar, and a girl singing backup vocals with him. He was really good. Guy from Minnesota. He had a really cool story he told. Actually, he was talking about how he was homeschooled, and he went into public schools for starting as a sophomore, and he was just like trying to make friends and stuff. So he was in this class with this guy who was the guy who was always late to class, and he thought he'd be cool to be friends with. So he went over to him one day, pulled his headphones out of his ear, and he's like, "Hey, what are you listening to?" And the guy's like, I can't describe it to you. You just got to listen to it. So he starts listening to it. He's like, "Oh, this is really good. Who is it?" And the kid's like, "His name is Tallest Man on Earth." And he's like, and I never would have believed if you'd told me that day that I would be here today opening for Tallest Man on Earth.
Nice. That's cool.
I just thought that was the coolest thing.
Yeah.
Let's see. Other than that, the Copa America tournament is going on for soccer. USA won 4-0 yesterday. So that was really good to see, although I couldn't watch the game, so that kind of sucked. But
Over who?
Costa Rica, who's actually not too bad, so it was a good win. The USA looked like shit in their first game against Colombia, but Colombia is really good. So it's similar to the World Cup, where the top 2 teams of each group will make it out of the first round. I think the US should be safe to do that. That's all I ever ask. Anything past that is a bonus for the US.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going on. That's really about it for me.
Okay. Will, what do you got?
Well, I bought a PS3 recently.
Really?
Yeah. I got it for $90 off eBay.
Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, and like I said, I had that plethora of like PayPal money that just wouldn't go into my bank account.
Oh, that's right.
So I was just like, well, I might as well just spend this because it won't go into my account. So yeah, I spent $90 and got myself a PlayStation 3. Partially because I want to play the PlayStation 1 classic games that just like Sony won't put on PS4 for whatever reason. Because I've been holding out for that and they just haven't done it. And I got to the point where I was like, all right, so you're gonna make me buy a PS3 now. So I did. Bought some games, which I'll talk about later. I also played poker for the first time. Ever. I've literally never played before.
Texas Hold'em?
I don't know what that is. So I went to...
Was there a river?
Yes.
It was Texas Hold'em.
I went to a coworker's apartment. It was Phil, Eric.
Oh, yeah. I could picture Phil being a card player.
Yeah, he is. It was me, my friend Zach, who you met, and 2 other people. And we went, and I had never played, and they basically just described it. It's sort of like Yahtzee, but with cards. So, like, it made a lot of sense to me. I ended up winning. There was $32 because we all put 5 in, and from there, like, if you ended up losing all your chips, you could buy back in or whatever. There was $32 in like the entire thing, and I ended up winning $22.50.
Nice.
Yeah.
The new guy always wins.
Will's gambling addiction starts here.
Yeah. You should
It
go
was
to
very
Tioga Downs
rewarding.
and blow all of it.
I felt like I should go to Tioga Downs and go to the slots and try my luck. But I was pretty happy. It was funny, though, because one kid came late because he was at work, and when he came, he, like, won the first, like, 6 hands or whatever. So, like, we were all losing money left and right. And I was like, it's kind of weird how that works because I won my first couple hands, too, like, not knowing what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, beginner's luck.
Like
you don't overthink it.
Yeah. But it's kind of fun. Whenever I got a little bit of money, I just ended up blowing all of it, like, because I was like, oh, I can bet a little longer because I have the money to spare. And then I'd get down really low, and then I'd work my way back up. By the time, like, the last time I worked my way back up, I was, like, really, like, conservative and, like, played as smart as I could. And I ended up winning a lot of money. So that was fun, and like I said, I'd never played poker before. And I think I said it was stupid, like, 2 weeks ago, too. because I wasn't into it, but it's kind of fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. That's the only poker game I like too is Texas Hold'em.
Mhm.
I don't like any other kind of poker.
I didn't even know there was different types.
Oh yeah.
A lot of them.
Yep.
Really? Okay, so Texas Hold'em is the one I like too. Then.
It's the most popular
Also,
one these days.
Yeah, because there's big tournaments for Texas Hold'em, right?
That's the main one they show on like ESPN.
Yep, like over hockey.
Which is still stupid.
Oh, it's awful. I played Texas Hold'em at Turning Stone Casino once, and my friend's girlfriend knocked me off the table. It was embarrassing.
Yeah.
It was Laura.
Counting cards.
I don't know. I'm just bad at it.
I'm bad too.
You're a regular Sandor Clegane, Eric.
It was the night that Ron Artest went into the crowd and punched the fans.
Oh, nice.
That was a good night.
Yeah.
I will never forget that as long as I live. Seeing the highlights from that and just being like, what is going on? But I love it. Okay. That everything, Will?
Other than that, my mustache.
Yeah, he
Looking
must have
nice.
kicking it.
Big happenings.
Yeah, it's starting to curl onto my lip. It's weird.
Yeah, I always have to trim that. I hate when it gets into my mouth. Especially like
The
right
old
here.
French tickler.
Yeah. Ugh.
It's weird, like having it. I like tasted pizza in it from the day before.
Ugh.
What kind of pizza was it?
Flavor saver.
Most
Pepperoni,
importantly.
bacon, and onion.
Nice.
Just it was like
It's a hearty
residue.
leftover.
I'll have a little snack at work, at least, I guess.
Get you through the day.
Yeah. Other than that, nothing. Just played some video games.
Okay. Corey, what do you got?
Just quickly, I started watching one of the new Netflix series called Aquarius. It's with David Duchovny, and it's based on the Charlie Manson cult.
Oh, I'd probably like that. No?
It's okay. I like the period piece part of it, but they took a ton of artistic liberties with what really happened to make it a little more dramatic, and I think it really kind of spoils it. I think they ruined it by doing that. But it is still cool to watch that time and place, end of the 60s, early 70s. And that Charlie Manson stuff has always sort of fascinated me.
Oh, yeah.
So check it out. I think it's got like 3 stars on Netflix. It's fine. It's just I like David Duchovny a lot too. So
Hey, Corey, have you watched Broad City yet?
I don't think so.
I don't think it's on Netflix. I think it's on Hulu, which I have for like another 12 days if you want to check it out.
What's it about?
It's just about these 2 wacky ass chicks that live in New York City and they're good friends and just dumb shit they do. It's kind of like, I don't know. Christy loves it. It's like her favorite. Her and her sister are watching it here all weekend. But it's honestly, for me, one of the funniest shows I think I've ever seen. I love it.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
Broad City.
Yeah. I think Sophie would like it.
Okay, well, that's a good pitch right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll check that out. And then the only other thing I want to talk about is I put up the wit.nes video on YouTube, and it already has like 6,000 views.
Attaboy.
So check it out. Mouse cursor in the screen and all.
There's some hate.
Yeah, whatever. That's to be expected. But I forget who wrote an article about the game on Kotaku. I thought it sounded interesting. But what it is it's an NES version of The Witness. You need an emulator to play it. You can play the demo right now for free. It's pretty cool. And it kind of shows like that. Imagine if a game just like The Witness came out for the NES, like back when the NES was current. I think people's minds would have been blown.
Yeah.
But it's something that runs perfectly, like that concept plays perfectly well on an NES. So check out the video. On Twitch the whole thing is there, but for some reason YouTube cut off like the last 2 minutes when I exported the highlight. I don't know why.
Such a pain.
And I didn't realize that till like yesterday, that the whole thing wasn't there. Like me finishing the last puzzle in the demo, it just kind of cuts while I'm trying to do the last puzzle. But whatever. And that's it. And just nothing else really to talk about. Been working a lot and trying to play some games here and there, and still recovering from the weekend before this past weekend.
Jesus.
Still trying to like catch up, I guess is the
hit
best
the bottle pretty hard, huh?
Well, not even that. Just like the amount of lost time set me so far behind on everything else.
Yeah, 4 busy days in a row.
Yeah.
Sure.
There's literally not enough time in the day.
No, and Corey, it only gets worse from here. I hate to tell you.
Oh my God, I know it. Well, today I worked I worked my normal job for 7.5 hours or whatever, and then I've been doing some mowing on the side. I wasn't done till 7, so that's like a 12-hour day right there for me. Fortunately, I'd done all my notes and everything for the podcast yesterday because I knew today would be busy. But then I go right from that, and then I have like 30 minutes to get home, feed the dog, take the dog out to poop. Throw some pizza rolls in the microwave and put on a pot of coffee and take a quick shower and, cram all that into 30 minutes.
Yeah. That was me too, Corey. I had to drive to Fredericksburg today, which is like an hour and a half from here, to meet up with all my employees that are training. I sat there. I don't mind doing it. It's kind of fun, actually, but I just catch up with them, each one of them separately. So I didn't get done with that until 4 o'clock. Then I had to drive home and eat dinner and like just try to fucking relax for a few minutes.
Yep.
Oh.
Fortunately, this isn't like work, so it's not that I'm complaining that I'm here, but.
Oh no.
Yeah, but then I'll finish this and stay up too late, and
Yeah. Yep. Sure.
It's just the way things go.
I hit the hay, man.
Yeah. Well, I don't have to work tomorrow. I have tomorrow off because I work.
Oh, fair enough.
It's my weekend to work this month is this weekend, so.
Hearts of Iron, Corey.
Yeah, I'll probably spend the whole day playing Hearts of Iron.
Excited to hear about that.
I only have 2 quick things to talk about. Me and the wife started rewatching Game of Thrones from the beginning.
Yeah.
We're 5 or 6 episodes in already.
Nice.
That show, man.
5. We also rewatched. I usually don't until after the podcast, but we rewatched this week's episode too. So I've seen that one twice already.
Have you picked up on anything to like supplement some theories that you have, or some other fan theories?
I don't know. I don't want to get into.
Yeah, it's fine
for people that haven't seen
Game
it.
of Thrones isn't science fiction-y, right?
No,
fantasy.
Oh, fantasy.
Mostly low fantasy turns into high fantasy like later on a little
What's
bit.
the difference?
High fantasy is like dragons and magic and all that stuff. Low fantasy is just like straight medieval.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's weird. It's weird to go back after all the crap that's going on now. Like everything that's happening in the first season feels like such small potatoes.
Oh yeah, it's like an episode is a conversation.
Yeah,
where you pick up a piece of information and that's an episode.
Yep, everything is moving so fast now. It's crazy the difference from the first season to the 6th season.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're doing that. We watch an episode, maybe 2 a night. We're not going to binge like we did when she watched it the first time. But
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I want an answer. Is Tyrael still alive?
Tyrael, yes.
Yes.
Tyrael. You mean Tyrion?
Tyrion.
Yes, Tyrion.
Is he a Lannister?
He is. Well, maybe not.
Maybe not. Who knows?
Who knows?
Guys, this sounds like nothing more than a soap opera.
Yeah.
It kind of is. It's a fantasy soap opera.
All right.
Fantasy soap opera / war flick / softcore porn.
Porn.
/ It's got a lot of elements to it.
On paper, I should love this, but
same here, Will, because I love a good drama. Soap opera. I was the biggest Dawson's Creek fan you ever find.
yeah,
Dawson's Creek was good.
I may have watched a season of Guiding Light.
My mom used to watch this shit every day.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I've seen a soap opera.
Yes. And then other than Game of Thrones, we've just been kind of readying the house for twins.
You don't have to do that anymore.
No.
Jake had a good idea.
What's that?
Corey's going to take one, and I'm going to take the other one, so we're dads now.
There you go.
We did it.
And we're going to make a movie about it.
Foster children.
And when we get sick of them, Dan, we'll just take them to the rescue and bring home a new puppy.
Oh, that's the other
Okay.
thing I did. We were trying to adopt a puppy.
Uh-huh.
I forgot about that. Corey, now when you adopted a puppy, did you have to go through a whole process?
We did for a lot of them, but the one we ended up getting Fiona from was this ghetto backwoodsy kind of place, and
Okay.
we walked in the door and she's like, "Yeah, everyone's approved, so you can just take one home." We're like, "All right, we
Well.
kind of like this one. See ya."
Yeah, wow. Oh, I can't tell you how frustrating this process is.
Oh yeah.
It's unbelievable. And I understand they want them to go to good homes. I
Uh-huh.
get that. But at the same time, I feel like the amount of bullshit you have to do, and like, I don't feel like the people are super nice about it either.
No.
They're kind of rude.
Yeah.
I feel like it probably steers some good homes away.
Oh yeah.
You know?
That was definitely
I'll
our
get
experience. We went to we were in Newark Valley for something, and we went to, was it PetSmart?
Mhm.
In Johnson City there, and we did not like feel accommodated at all for wanting to purchase a dog, you know?
No, it's almost like they are going in with the assumption that you're some kind of dirtbag asshole that's going to beat the shit out of this dog so I can get out the door.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. And it's like, well, you know, you can put your name down and maybe something or other. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, I'm here, I'm ready. Like, I like this one. Can I just take it?
Yeah. Like, these people have to come to my house
Oh yeah.
and, like, talk to us, and then maybe we can meet the dog. And it's like, can you just fucking bring the dog with you the
Yeah.
first time?
Mm-hmm.
Cut down on the unnecessary steps.
Yeah. Like, I have a job. Like, can you just bring it the one time?
Leave it in the car while you check out the house, and then go on.
Leave it in the hot car.
It usually only hits 95 here. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Speaking of a quick side story, one of my coworkers was telling the story how he was at Home Depot or something, and he goes out and there's like 7 people surrounding this guy's car because there was a dog in the car. And it wasn't even a hot day. It was one of those like 60-degree days. It happened to be sunny, and he had cracked all the windows and the sunroof was open. And there was a bunch of people gather around this guy's car. The guy comes out and they start swearing at him for being like they were calling him bastard and like awful names and stuff because he left his dog in the car on a relatively cool day with the windows cracked and the sunroof open. And they're like, "We called the cops. We gave him your license plate number. You POS," like just tearing this guy down. He's like, "I'm sorry. Like it was Walmart. I was in Walmart for 10 minutes, you know."
This
And,
is well, Corey, keep in mind, this is the first triumph that any of these people have ever had.
Oh
in
yeah,
their life.
exactly. Yeah, and he said he went home and called the cops, and was like, and they're like, "Yeah, you didn't do anything illegal. You're fine. Don't worry about it."
Yeah,
It's
the
like,
cops
all
were
right.
probably like, "Yeah, okay, we'll be right there." But
Yeah, exactly.
that's the end of it.
The very fact that he called the cops and himself tells me that he was the good guy in this situation.
Oh, he absolutely
Yeah.
Wow.
was. Feel sorry for the guy.
Fucking dickheads.
Ugh. It's like that
It was
episode of The
probably the
Office.
same guy at the Tallest Man on Earth concert. It was the same fucking guy.
Do you guys remember the episode of The Office where the dog was in the car, or was it a cat?
As a dog.
It was a dog, and they break the window to get it out, and they're all like happy and cheering, and then they're like, "Well, who's gonna take it?" And everyone's like, "I don't want it." So they put it back in the car and put cardboard over the window.
Yeah, because Oscar takes the tire iron to the window and then cracks the back headlight.
Yeah, that's right. Oh,
Due for another watch through.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
it's been a while.
All right, do we want to take a quick break before we get into what we played?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta duck out for a little bit
Okay.
too, so I might not be back.
I
Even
don't care
even
about
though I
that.
want to talk about The Witcher.
Okay.
But we'll,
Do you want to talk
figure
about
out.
it real quick?
No, we'll just take a break here.
All
All right. All right, we'll take a quick break and be back with what we played in just a moment. All right.
Corey, did you have positive or negative things to say about The Witcher?
Well, why don't you guys just do your thing and then like save The Witcher for the last part of what we played and just shoot me a text or something.
I mean, I don't have that much to say. I was just
Well,
gonna
I
say
want to talk about it
Okay.
personally. So, and did you play Blood and Wine, Dan?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought you had.
Nope. I'm waiting to get to the point where I can play those.
Well, yeah, just do your thing and then text me when you're like winding down, and I'll let you know.
Winding down what we played.
Yeah, and I'll
Okay.
let you know if I can come talk
Okay.
about it. All right.
Sounds good.
Bye.
All right, quick pee break. Oh.
How dare you leave your dog in the car for a minute?
Unbelievable.
Those people are the worst.
I mean, sometimes I get it, but it sounds like that situation was a bit much.
Oh, yeah, it was ridiculous. Uncalled for. But they gotta be the hero.
Oh, God, yeah. Always got to be the hero.
That poor guy. Details leak for Destiny's Rise of Iron. Cool.
Who gives a fuck? I mean,
Huh?
am I right?
I'm in.
Will's in.
I love it.
Honestly, I can't believe they're still putting stuff out for that.
Kind of surprised, too.
Okay.
Hi, Dan.
Hey.
Dan, I'm just putting the feedback together real quick.
Okay.
Did we talk about Watch Dogs 2 getting announced?
No.
Who cares?
Nice.
I still have to play the first one again.
Like
So-
I said, I didn't think it was all that bad.
It was your average modern day Grand Theft Auto clone, I guess.
I mean, it wasn't as good as that, but
Yeah.
God damn it.
I wanted Corey to be here to talk about Hearts of Iron too.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
What a
Damn.
jerk.
What a Nancy foo-foo he is.
Oh, I gotta go.
Just text me when it's my turn. It's
He's such a sissy. I hate Pittsburgh, by the way, Dan.
Are they winning?
They're winning
Well,
the series.
Yeah, 3-1.
The year I said, oh, no team I hate is going to win the cup this year. That's great. Pittsburgh is probably going to win it.
Yeah.
That sucks. Stupid Crosby. You know?
He designed the play to score the winning goal couple games ago.
It blows my mind that there are even plays run in hockey.
Neil said that they hardly ever do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's usually off of a face-off.
Yeah, it's the only time that they ever
okay.
do it. And that goal was, but
Oh, was it?
yep.
They might have like set breakout plays too, but for the most part, it's usually just off of a face-off.
Which Pittsburgh does do breakout plays a lot. They just pass it deep, connect to Crosby or Malkin or one of their speedy guys, Kessel.
Got some cool feedback.
Nice.
All right, we're all set, Dan.
Ready, Freddy?
Yeah.
Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everyone, to episode 255 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. We are now in what we played. Should I start with Hearts of Iron? Do you think?
Sure.
Yeah.
Since I teased it right off the bat.
Corey's being a big schnoz about it.
Yeah, Corey may or may not be back to talk about The Witcher. But yeah, so I've had my eye on Hearts of Iron 4 for a while. I wasn't sure if I was going to get it, but I saw the reviews that it was getting, and I've had kind of an itch for grand strategy, especially one from Paradox, who at this point is one of my favorite publishers. So yeah, Hearts of Iron 4 is a World War II grand strategy series. Obviously, they make Crusader Kings and Europa Universalis. The Victoria games, they do quite a few. They made Stellaris recently, which I know Corey didn't end up liking. But you lead a nation, big or small, from either the beginning of 1936 or mid-1939, just before the Nazi invasion of Poland. And the 1936 start date has some awesome alternate history possibilities. Reading some reviews on Steam, someone started as the UK in 1936, and after some German aggression in 1938, they invaded Germany right away rather than waiting.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, by late 1938, they had captured Berlin. Hitler had been assassinated by the Wehrmacht. The successors to Hitler quickly capitulated, and the war was over already, just at the end of 1938.
Wow.
So that was pretty cool. Go ahead.
Did he is that playthrough done then? Like he beat the game?
I'm sure it has an end date. It's an open game, so until the end date at which you can play the game, like the victory conditions are whatever you want them to be for your playthrough. Like some people it's world conquest, some people it depends. Some people just want to make it so World War II doesn't happen. Like that can be your victory condition.
Okay.
So someone else started as Iran and became the new Persian Empire. They conquered the entire Middle East, most of Africa, and into India and China, which is also pretty cool. Alternate history. I found that stuff very interesting. So what I played about 5 or 6 hours maybe. The tutorial takes about an hour to do. It's not a great tutorial. I would think that if you don't have any experience with Paradox's games before, it's still going to leave a lot of questions. I was a little bit familiar with the way some of the systems work from playing so much Crusader Kings 2 specifically, so I think I definitely had an advantage there. But for most people, I think you'll need to look up some starter tips and tutorial videos and whatnot. So after the tutorial, you play as Italy when they conquer Ethiopia. That's your tutorial. You go through building, land management, and all that sort of stuff. It takes you through all that. So yeah, after the tutorial, I started my own 1936 campaign as Ireland.
Ireland.
Ireland. My goal for Ireland in this game was wanted to learn the land management and political management stuff without being right in the thick of the war. Because controlling units and stuff is still a little new to me. So I started slowly building an army right off the bat. Mostly doing research though, and getting my infrastructure up to snuff, building factories and all that fun stuff. Um, and my plan was to aid France immediately once Germany, if and when Germany invaded France. Sure enough, like right before we started, I played like 20 minutes, and that's of course right when the war between Germany, the Allies, and the Axis powers started. So I had played maybe 10 minutes worth of war. My units hadn't even quite gotten to France yet by the time I had to stop. Um, but I'm trying to start a democratic uprising in Nazi Germany. Hoping
Whoa.
they overthrow the ruling party from within. And I'm also funding a coup in Hungary, who was one of Germany's allies in the game. So I'm hoping to screw with their allies a little bit, but also internally, like trying to give rise to a democratic party in Nazi Germany.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I don't know if it's going to work. We'll see.
I hope it works, Dan.
I do too. But yeah, so far I absolutely love it. I can't really comment on the late game stuff or heavy military yet, but the possibilities really are endless for it, and I'll probably play multiple playthroughs of it. I'll also report next week after I've had some more time with it. Like I said, I've only spent 5 or 6 hours out of a potentially very long game. So
I'm
yeah.
gonna download this. I don't know if I'll ever play it, but in theory, it sounds amazing to me.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah,
good.
I want to try it.
It's really good. It's a maps and spreadsheets game. There's not a lot of graphical stuff, so
That's fine.
yeah. I think it's really well done. There's the main people that complained about it on the Steam reviews were people who spent a lot of time playing Hearts of Iron 3 that didn't think Hearts of Iron 4 was quite as in depth as Hearts of Iron 3. But some veteran players didn't like Hearts of Iron 4, but some veteran players thought that some of the minutia in Hearts of Iron 3 was unnecessary, and that Hearts of Iron 4 did a much better job of keeping the super micromanagement stuff to a minimum.
Oh, good.
I can't comment on that because I didn't play Hearts of Iron 3, but I do like the way things are handled thus far in Hearts of Iron 4.
So this sounds like a good one for me to try.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I mean, it might take you a long time to learn it, but Crusader Kings 2 was one of the more rewarding games that I've ever played, and it took me 20 hours to learn how to play it. So just to learn how to play it before I could even, have an effective strategy and figure things out. So good stuff.
I like that. I
Digging
gotta
Hearts of
play
Iron
it.
4. Yeah. So there's that. I played Overwatch. You guys want to talk about Overwatch?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to learn some new characters now. I think I said I played some Junkrat last 2 weeks ago or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn how to play Mei. Pretty bad.
It's hard.
Yeah, she's a somewhat difficult character. And then I tried Soldier 76 too, who I'm also pretty bad with.
Really?
Now,
Yeah.
he's supposed to be like the most shooterish.
Yep, he's supposed to be your good starter hero for like Call of Duty people. And I could see that. I was just not very good with Soldier 76. He wasn't that fun of a character to play, I don't think.
No, he really isn't.
With all the cool abilities that some of the characters have, like he was just kind of boring. And I only picked him because 4 out of the 5 other people on my team were characters that I usually played as. So I was like, I might as well start a new character. But yeah, I'm still digging Overwatch. I don't know how much of it I'm going to play now with Hearts of Iron 4 dominating my thoughts now. I'll still play it.
Well, I have to eat some crow here.
Okay.
I will only say that I found a character that makes the game fun for me again. And it was Lucio, who I shat all over. You guys were totally right. Lucio is a great character for somebody who's not good at this game.
Yeah.
Because all you have to do is be in an area
Mm-hmm.
and push people back with your secondary shot. That's it.
Yeah.
And I can do that.
Yep.
And it's fun doing it.
Yeah. And one of the things I really like about him is you don't like with Mercy, you have to concentrate on healing and avoiding other people. With Lucio, you just need to shoot the other team and, like you said, push them back, and you just heal automatically. You don't even need to worry about it. That's what's great about it. And then I spam my E ability too, which is that's your whatever, pump up the volume,
Oh yeah.
Yep.
the super heal as they call it.
Yeah, so I enjoyed my time playing with Lucio. The rest of the time, I don't really enjoy myself if I ever have to use anybody else.
Gotcha.
Corey and I played a little while together. We actually did pretty well. And again, it was fun playing with Corey. Like I said, if I'm playing with friends, I usually have a decent time with it, but that's not very often. So
Sure.
I think Overwatch is still pretty overrated, in my opinion.
Will?
I actually played a little bit on the PS4 the other day. It's funny. I went into a game, and I only played one game. This is the first game I ever played on the PS4 since it launched. And in this game, everybody on my team and the other team is Hanzo and Widowmaker. Everybody.
How'd it go?
Well, I saw my team and I was like, well, okay, this isn't just a group of people and they're just planning this. This is just pure stupidity. So I was like, well, I can either be... We don't need damage, so I was like, I can either be tank or a healer. And I don't love any of the tanks really that much. I play Reinhardt, but that's just because I'm the best with him.
Right.
That's just my best tank. So I went Zenyatta. And nobody were attacking on whatever that Volsakia Industries or whatever.
Yeah.
We're doing that one, and literally nobody defended the objective. I capped them. I had the most. I think I had the most objective time healing and eliminations.
Really?
Yeah, it's I don't know what anybody was doing.
Did they just do that for fun? Because I was in a match where everyone, or the guys on the other team, wanted everyone to be Hanzo, and it was 9 Hanzos out of 12 characters.
I'm sure one or two of the people just chose one of those two characters because everybody else did, but
Right.
nobody's talking, so
Yeah.
I couldn't have been planned.
It's a little harder to set up, I think, on the PS4, right?
Yeah, so I was like, well, this is silly. So then I just closed it and went and played other games. And like I said, the person who I play Overwatch with the most is in Italy. And me and the other person who play with him just haven't really been playing that much.
Huh?
Well, did you buy it for PS4?
Yeah, I have it on PS4. I had that
Oh.
PayPal money.
You didn't tell me.
Yeah, I did. You haven't been on in 2 weeks.
On what?
The podcast.
You have my phone number.
I'm not gonna text you. Come on.
Jesus. No, I'm glad you did because Jared bought it.
Did he?
Yeah.
We can all play.
Do you have his gamer tag? Whatever.
No.
I'll get it to you.
All right. Yeah, no, I said on the you weren't here, and then I just completely forgot about it because I mainly play on PC. It was just it was late at night.
Did you notice a speed difference?
To be honest, no. It felt better than when I played it on the beta.
What I want you to do is play it on your PC for a half hour.
Yeah.
And then go over to PS4 and tell me if you see a difference.
There probably will be.
Oh, you're gonna hate it.
Oh yeah. I actually hate playing shooters with a controller now.
That's what happened to me.
Dan,
Stop.
I was playing Doom, and I was like, I do not like playing shooters with this this contraption.
It was Titanfall that ruined it for me because I specifically set out to learn how to play a shooter on a computer because it had been a long time since I played a actual first-person shooter on a computer with a keyboard and mouse, probably since I was in my teens. So I set out with the specific purpose in Titanfall of learning how to play. and then once I got used to it, I couldn't go back, other than Splatoon, to playing a shooter with a controller.
It's only like I can do like I'm playing Ratchet and Clank, and while that's not like 100% shootery, like I can do it.
Yeah.
But when I do first person shooters, I literally like I just can't. I'm so bad, and like
Right.
I don't know.
Well, that's why I said Splatoon's okay, because your goal is painting the ground, not shooting the other players.
Yeah.
Shooting the players helps, but the goal is painting the ground. And I generally use the area of effect weapons like the paint bucket or the roller.
Yeah.
I never could use the squeegee sniper rifles or anything like that. I usually use the area of effect weapons.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Dan, like I never understood that whole like not being able to use a controller until literally like
It makes me feel like an idiot to go back and play a shooter with a controller now, because my aim is so bad and so off. Like I just feel like a stupid, I don't know, stupid idiot.
a noob.
Yeah, the shots aren't even close. But yeah, I've been able to, because I'm usually in the same boat with only wanting to play with friends, but I've had a good enough time with Overwatch thus far that I haven't felt the need to only play with friends. I did
Yeah,
have
I
someone
just can't believe that.
I did
They're
have someone give me crap one game about when I
There's-
was Lucio. Someone was like, "Lucio, are you healing?" I was like, "Yeah, I heal when I get
Yeah,
to
I'm
the-"
in the area, aren't I? You fuck ass.
Well, that's just
Yeah.
it. Like if you're Lucio, he's only good for certain game types. If you're Lucio and no one's near you, like I can't heal you when you're far away. I'm not gonna follow you around like a puppy dog.
yeah.
I tend to stay near the tanks because they can keep me safe. But that was it. I didn't get salty at him. I was just like, yeah, I heal when I get to the
When
objective.
when Corey and I were playing the other day, Dan, we mentioned how we couldn't believe you liked this game so much.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dan,
Yeah.
there is some serious shade being thrown at this game. From
Well,
Eric and Corey,
no,
Tito.
I understand. Like I think I like it because it is it's not it's a much more friendly shooter than like a Call of Duty. I could never go and play a Call of Duty, because
Oh God, yeah.
I spend most of my time playing Diva, who's my favorite character, because she can take a few hits, and if you blow up her mech, then she's just a person running around.
Mhm.
I like her mobility. I use that to my advantage. That's what I really like about it is using your character's capabilities to your advantage and to
Yeah.
suit your play style.
Yeah, no, exactly. I'm with you 100% with it.
I might only get like another month out of it before I stop playing it, but I'll have definitely gotten $40 worth out by the time I'm done with it. But we shall see.
I don't know if I will.
Yeah. I hear ya. Like I said, Hearts of Iron though. It may ruin all my other things that I'm playing right now. So that's Overwatch. Should we text Corey about The Witcher and see if he wants to come talk about The Witcher, or you want to wait?
No, not yet, because I got a couple things.
Okay.
Same here.
Mine are brief. Time to any console PC games because the family's been in town and shit like that. So on my wife's recommendation, she asked me to try SimCity Build It on the iPhone.
Uh-huh.
So I've been playing that like a fiend. I've been pretty addicted to it.
Overwatch is boring, but I'm gonna
for
play
the-
SimCity.
Yeah, but I'm not playing SimCity. Like I'm not saying it's any great game.
You love it. I can tell.
No,
already.
it's okay. I mean, I know it's just like an average.
It's a
just
good
it's a
pooping
time
game.
waster. Yeah, exactly. It's a time wasting game that I just play when I'm bored sitting there. But you know how she was telling me like you do have to wait a while for things. I don't think it's quite as bad as she made it out to be, but you do have to be pretty conservative with the money that you earn. Otherwise, it would be.
Mhm.
But I've enjoyed it. I think it's pretty decent stuff. Just kind of building up your city. It gets to a point where like certain levels you unlock like fire stations, police stations, and things like that. And if you haven't saved up enough money for those things, you're I think they're called like simoleons or whatever, will bug you, and their happiness rating or whatever will go down. But I don't know. It's a pretty good mobile game. It's one of the better ones that I've played, in my opinion. Then I
How
played
does-
another one. What's that?
How do the touchscreen controls work? Like, does it responsive and
Yeah.
feel like it plays well? Okay, that's
The only
usually my
issues
main
I've had.
concern.
Yeah, the only issues I've had has been like I'll try to drag a building somewhere and it will give me the wrong building a few times. I don't know. Sometimes I just blame that on my sausage fingers.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I've been enjoying it. The other thing I played was Top 11, which is a soccer management game for mobile. Had really good reviews and ratings, and I hated it.
Oh, really?
It's very complicated menus, and there's just too much shit going on. And I was like, I'm not gonna do this.
So it's a spreadsheet game.
Yeah, well, yeah, but on mobile, I don't think that works very well. It's just
Gotcha.
too much going on, and there's shit
Yeah.
popping up all over. And it wanted me to be more involved than I was looking for, like time wise.
Hmm.
Like there was like, I felt like I was on a timeline I had to have things done by, and I didn't like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I play a mobile game, I just want to be able to do it when I get to it.
Yeah.
You know?
Sure.
So I already deleted that.
Mhm.
I actually bought a mobile game that was on sale. It looked interesting. I haven't played it yet, but it's a text adventure game called Lifeline.
Uh-huh.
Looked kind of cool to me, so I'm going to give that a try. I've never played a text adventure game. So
Nice.
I'm going to get to that at some point. But that is literally the only video. I think Corey and I played some Rocket League too for a little bit.
Yeah.
That was always fantastic. So doing doubles.
Okay. William.
What games you guys want to hear about first? The new games that came out, or the retro games that I've been
I
playing?
want to hear about Doom and Ratchet and Clank.
Okay, so I played one mission of Doom. There's a lot of things I like about Doom so far. Like I said, I only did the first mission, but I like how fast paced and just like kind of gory it is, and you really get like a feeling of that when you do the glory kills or whatever. That's basically when you like shoot them or whatever, and they light up. So that's when you know to like go up and bash them, and like you'll just rip off their arm and like hit them across the back of the head and kill them and stuff like that. Like
That's how you get ammo and health too, right?
Yep, which is like very important in the game because I cycle through ammo like no one's business.
Yeah.
I will say the game is really hard, though. I don't know if it's because I'm, like I was saying, really bad with controller shooters now, or if it's just that hard. I died probably like 5 times on the first level.
Yeah, I've heard it's fairly difficult.
It's pretty punishing. Which I mean that's what Doom's about. So I wasn't like frustrated with it at all. I'm definitely because like our next episode is on Doom, right?
Either that or E3 recap. It depends on how much time people get with Doom.
Probably going to be E3 recap unless you play a lot of it.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna try and play through. I'm at least gonna try and do a mission a day. I think.
Yeah.
Because I think it's like a 10-hour.
I've heard mixed reports on that. I've heard anywhere between like 6 to 12.
Yeah,
Okay.
someone beat it on the hardest difficulty in like 5.5 hours, and that was like the fastest.
Okay. Well,
Which is crazy.
I'm not a god at that game, so probably double it.
Yeah.
I'll try and do it by 10 hours. I think that's doable. But yeah, overall, I do like Doom. Some of the weapons are really cool too. I only have like the first pistol and the shotgun, but like it just felt really good and satisfying when you just blew off a demon's head or whatever. They're demons, right?
You sure?
You,
Never played
whatever.
a Doom game.
And I don't know what they're doing with the story.
Who cares?
There's
It's not what it's about.
just this one guy talking.
It's just about
And
blowing shit up.
yeah,
About slaughtering demons with
Yep.
reckless abandon.
with metal music blaring in the background.
I heard the metal music's great.
Yeah. If you're into metal, you're gonna love it.
Well, Will, what you could do on PS4 too is you can boot up Spotify.
Hmm.
You can play your own music on there.
Really?
Hmm.
That's a great feature.
That's what I do for Rocket League.
Because adding your music to like whatever you're playing, if it's not a story game, like makes me enjoy everything way more.
I usually listen to Dropkick Murphys when I play Rocket League.
Really? I could see myself killing some demons to state champs.
I don't know.
I was thinking maybe some of your harder music, but
Yeah.
I don't know, something about state champs pop punk blaring while I'm blowing demons apart. Oddly
maybe a little
relieving.
newfound glory.
But the other thing I played was Ratchet and Clank. I don't know why I waited so long to play this game.
So good, isn't it?
It's amazing. The graphics for starters are so good. Like Ratchet, like you can just see like the individual like fur on him, like the strands of hair. It just looks so good and it's so much fun. Like I love throwing because I've only put like maybe 2 to 3 hours into it so far, and I know it's not that long of a game, but there's this one weapon that I throw. It's like a atom bomb or whatever grenade, and what it does is it like pulses energy out, and it'll like kill. It'll suck the enemy's health away a little by little until they end up dying. And like when it's just like crazy and there's like mobs in there, I just toss it in there and like they just get destroyed by it. Or like I'll throw the Groovatron in there. And the Groovatron will make them all dance, and I can
That was a great weapon.
just rocket launcher all of them, and it's so cool.
Did you get the pixel gun yet?
Yep, I got that too.
Yeah,
Like the guns are so cool.
they're great. The weapons are fantastic.
Like everything about this game is so awesome. Like even the hoverboard challenges, like the racing, I don't like that stuff ever in games. I never do it, but this
You know, a lot of people don't like that part.
really.
A lot of people hate that part. I thought it was really fun.
I thought it was so much fun. I actually won every race on the first try,
Yeah, so did I.
and I was like, I'm amazing at this game. There he is.
Hey,
Hey,
guys.
Corey.
There's
Welcome
Sparky.
back.
I didn't expect you so soon, Corey. Will's just finishing up.
All right.
Oh, I still got more games.
Go for it.
Go ahead, Will.
Yeah, but no, Ratchet and Clank's amazing. Eric, how long is it?
I don't remember. I beat it. I remember that one day I sat there and played it literally all day.
Yeah,
I don't remember. I was in kind of a fog by
maybe
the end of the day.
probably like 12 hours.
Yeah, 10 hours I was thinking.
Okay, that's perfect. And like a lot of these games, like I've never played because I'd never had a PlayStation really for them, like Ratchet and Clank, and I was like, man, I really missed out.
I know. I hope they remake some of the other ones.
Which this will lead me to my next game. Like I'm wondering if they're gonna reboot other franchises because I played on PlayStation 3 Spyro the Dragon. I went in it's the first game. Well, it's not the first game I bought. I thought the one that we had was Spyro Year of the Dragon. Turns out that's the third one.
Yeah.
So
I think I had Spyro 1 and 2.
Oh yeah.
okay, so we did have
I
one.
think
And
I
two.
had 3.
Well, Year of the Dragon, I heard, is like the one that's not
Not well received.
that great. So of course I'm an idiot and bought that one because I thought it was the one. Until I booted it up and I'm like, wait, this isn't it. So I had to go back and I was like, oh, it's Spyro the Dragon. I 120% of the game in 3 sittings.
Really?
Yeah,
first one?
I literally remembered where every gem dragon was, how to do all the flight missions, all the blue guys who stole the eggs, how to catch all of them really easily.
Isn't that funny how much of that stuff you remember?
Literally, I would go into a level and be like, oh, this is the one with that cliff where you have to jump off of it and do the flying across the map and to get to the hidden area. And I did that. And there was one level in particular, you guys might not remember it, but it was called Treetops.
Oh yeah, I remember Treetops.
Yeah, and the running parts of it where you had to go down
Down the ramps.
Yep, and you had to connect the jumps to get to the spots.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I spent the entire time like, oh my god, Treetops is in World 4. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that because I struggled with it when I was young. turns out the game's really easy as a 21-year-old male.
And his gaming prime.
Yeah, like I blew through it. I didn't. The only time I died is when I like flew off the map like an idiot. And then like at the end, after you kill Nasty, I already had everything like beaten, so I got to just do his loot and get everything.
So you beat it.
Yeah, I beat it. Thank you.
Well done.
So then I ended up buying, as I said, I have all this PayPal money, and these games were $5 on there. I ended up buying Ripto's Rage, which is the second one. So I started that one, and I don't have very many memories of that game. I don't know if I played it.
I definitely didn't play the second one as much as I played the first one.
What's it called again?
Ripto's Rage.
I don't remember playing the second one. I do remember playing the first one. I just watched some gameplay from the first level.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good game. I would take a remastered Spyro.
Me too.
Even if they just put it as it is on Steam, I would buy it in a heartbeat. I'm actually going to check now and see if it is on Steam because I don't know.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's weird. When I was playing the first Spyro, I, in my memory, thought this game was beautiful. And, like, I get in there and I'm like, it doesn't look like how I remember it. But as I played, like, it looked better and better to me. Like, I honestly think the game holds up extremely well.
Once you got used to the way the graphics were, it's the same way I felt about playing Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
Again, it recently, like, it looks terrible, but after you play it for a while, you just kind of get used to it and it looks fine.
Yeah, and it didn't bother me at all. And like I said, I think this game holds up like really well. The only thing that has against it is bad camera. Which I know of, like, for Eric hates like when camera is really janky.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
So, not to interrupt Will, but I Googled Spyro the Dragon Remastered.
Yeah.
And there is somebody working on remastering the first level using Unreal Engine 4.
Oh my god.
It looks awesome.
Is it the same people that did like the Legend of Zelda one and the Mario one in Unreal 4? Same guy?
Today we get to see that same Sheffield Hallam University student Jamie Shilvach.
I don't think that's who it was.
Is it the Artisan World?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Artisan Homeworld in Unreal Engine 4. It looks awesome.
I would love to see a new Spyro game. That would be great. Not a remaster, a brand new Spyro game.
I didn't realize how much I loved Spyro until I played that, and it's kind of a travesty to me that I didn't have this in my top 10. Because like I said, I played this game so much that I literally remembered where everything was. I didn't have to go back into a level because I got everything on one sweep.
That's good stuff right there.
Yeah, this is the reason why. Because I'm really mad that PlayStation 4 like has none of these games on there. I don't understand why.
Because of PlayStation Now.
But they had them on PlayStation Now. Then they're not even on there.
Oh, they're not even on there?
No, it's just PlayStation 3, and it's kind of ridiculous.
Well, they started rolling out some of the classics, right?
PS2.
Mm.
But they haven't added any since they did it for the first, like...
No, that's not true. They have.
Oh, have they?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe it is on there, and I just completely missed it. But
I doubt it. They haven't added many.
And it's just, like, it's stupid because I can just plug in my PlayStation 3, and all of a sudden they show up, like, in the PlayStation Store. Like... I don't know. I don't think there's any reason that they can't have them. But that's just me being a picky gamer. But I loved this. I'm going to play through Ripto's Rage, too. And like I said, I bought Final Fantasy VI on my PlayStation. It's basically my PS1 game emulator. And I have Final Fantasy 13 on it. So,
Nice.
Because for whatever reason, I want to play it really bad, even though Corey advises me against it.
Which game is this?
Final Fantasy 13.
That's on Steam, too. I think I own it on Steam. Steamy.
Yeah, I was actually going to play it on Steam, but like with you playing Hearts of Iron and whatnot, and like I don't like sitting at my computer to play really long RPGs anymore. So I just figured I'll just play it on PlayStation 3 when I get the opportunity.
Huh?
That's it for me, though.
All right. Corey, what'd you play?
Oh, man, quite a bit. I'm sure you guys already talked about some of this, so I'll just run through. Overwatch. My feelings stay the same.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about the mobile games just because I know nobody cares, and personally, I don't really care. But they're all right. They're good time killers. King Rabbit, I liked. Of the two, Miko Rama is like a Monument Valley. Is Monument Valley the one where you twist the thing around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. King Rabbit's more of like a puzzle platformer, which I'm really into, but it's just okay. Hearts of Iron 4, did you talk about yet, Dan?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I don't have to talk about that again.
What did you think so far of your experience with it?
So I just did the tutorial where you play as
Yeah.
Italy.
Yeah.
Oh man, the music in that game.
Yeah.
God.
It's a great package.
You know what it did is after I played it that night, I went and watched or started watching because I fell asleep pretty quickly. A World War II, like an old World War II movie that was made in like 1949 or something like that. Got me in that mood, you know.
Yeah.
Back in those days when there was a good guy and a bad guy,
Yep.
and everybody knew who they were.
Yep.
It's not like that anymore.
Everything shades of gray.
Yeah, but no, I think like you mentioned in our kick chat, our WhatsApp chat now that we've upgraded, now that we're adults.
I don't know if it's much of an upgrade.
It is.
No,
WhatsApp has end-to-end encryption.
I don't care. I can't use GIFs in our conversations
Oh
anymore,
well, yeah, that's
and that sucks.
that does suck.
But anyway,
No, the point you made about how it like you can pick almost any nation that participated in the war and take them
even
through.
the ones that didn't.
Right, and take them through it. It's really cool. I want to be Poland. I want Poland. I want to conquer Europe with Poland.
You can do it.
Yeah. Well, it might be very difficult, but yeah, you can do it.
I was telling these guys someone played as Iran when I was reading the Steam reviews, and they reformed the Persian Empire, started conquering the Middle East and Africa and parts of India and China.
That's cool.
And then someone else won the war, like right as the Nazis started invading people. As the UK, they just immediately
Crushed.
crushed. Yeah.
So what are the win conditions in that?
I don't know. Whatever. I think generally the with those type of games, it's whatever kind of you want it to be. Like the
Okay.
game ends when the time frame is over,
Okay.
and otherwise you just play like.
Well, I saw stuff for like victory points. Like this city is worth this many victory points.
Yeah, I haven't figured out all the systems yet.
Okay.
So I've only played like 5 or 6 hours.
Okay.
But I love it so far.
Which reminds me, we have to do a Civ 5.
Yeah,
Let's
we
get
do.
there at some point. So there's that Fire Emblem Birthright. I really like Fire Emblem.
Good. I'm glad.
I didn't play that much more of it. I think I have about 4 hours in it now, so maybe another 2 hours or so.
So you got to the point where you made the decision. And
I
everything
did.
like that?
I did make the decision. I did the Birthright choice. Sided with the Hoshidans.
Did you?
Stick with your blood?
I think one of your complaints was the decision's pretty clear cut. Did you feel like when you actually had to make the decision that it was still 100% clear cut?
It was, but I feel like they tried to manipulate me into thinking it wasn't as easy as it was just by everybody yelling at each other.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're my brother. No, you're my brother. You're my brother. It's like, okay. Which goes back to my point of the writing being terrible. But that said, it's fine, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like it. I was a little confused. I didn't realize there was all that castle building stuff, which I don't know how much like personal influence I actually have on that stuff, or if it's pretty much just linear progression. Seems kind of linear so far.
You kind of want to build the like armories and stuff like that
Yeah.
because that's how you buy your armor and whatnot, or not armor, your weapons
Okay.
and all that. So make sure you build like the shops and stuff. Definitely.
Yeah. And what's the deal with the thing that I feed? Does that thing end up fighting with me?
When
Eventually?
you get invaded, it fights with you.
Really, but it sucks.
Well, no, because mine was level 100 when by the time I finished.
So
So
just make sure you feed it in between every story mission.
every time you can feed it. Yeah.
Does that happen between story missions? Is that the only time that stuff like refreshes the support
Yeah.
conversations and stuff?
It'll do other times. It'll or if you like you leave your 3DS closed for more than a certain amount of time.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And the only other thing I had a question about is the extra stuff on the world map, like the paralogs. I assume is just like side story,
Those are the kid stories,
the
right?
kid
Yeah.
stories.
Yeah, to get the kids.
Yeah,
What kids?
they're having children.
Yeah, you marry off your units in this one.
Already did a paralog mission.
Well, that was probably for Mozu.
Yeah, that's who it was for.
Yeah, it's basically side missions, but most of them in this game are for like the kids to get them.
Okay. All right. The DLC. Did you buy all the DLC, Will?
I bought some of them.
Okay. Is that something I should do now or later, or does it matter?
You can get Anna, who is an Awakening.
Oh yeah.
I think that's the character you married, actually, Corey.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah, she was the fun girl, right?
Yep, the merchant.
The fun, athletic, kind of spunky girl.
Yeah, the sporty chick.
Yeah, sporty
Yeah.
spice.
Yeah, you can do her mission and get her.
Okay.
There's a couple other things you can get.
All right. Well, I just didn't know if it was something I should wait for late game or not.
If you go to that like crystal ball thing, there's an option where you can get all the items from the.
I did do that.
Okay, so you got like the scrolls and whatnot.
Yeah, and some of that stuff changes my class. Is that something I should do now or later? That doesn't matter.
There's specific characters that are specific, like really well suited for like the Dark Flyer,
Okay.
for example, or the Dread Knight.
So I guess my question is, I won't be penalized for changing somebody's class with one of those items, will I?
No, one of the characters that's a really good Dread Knight is Azama. You probably haven't met him yet, but he's one of the He's one of the retainers to the Hoshida Royal.
Okay.
He makes a pretty good Dread Fighter.
Okay. The Dragon's Gate stuff? What the hell is that?
That's just where all the DLC is.
Oh. And what's the challenge mode? Just harder versions of past story missions?
To be honest, I never did any of the challenges.
Okay. But yeah, no, I'm enjoying Fire Emblem. It's good, despite the bad writing. I still enjoy it.
The most interesting part is the interactions between the characters. That's what's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also thought Revelations writing was a lot better than the other two games.
Okay.
I kind of thought the writing in Birthright might have been the worst, and then Conquest was a little bit better, and then Revelations I thought it was pretty decent.
Do we know who did the localization for that game?
I'm not sure.
Exceed NIS America,
Okay.
someone like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, The Witcher 3.
Yeah, let's talk about The Witcher 3.
That's a really good game.
Yeah, it is.
All my criticisms still stand.
Sure.
I still don't like the Geralt we're getting in this game. I don't think it's the same Geralt. And when I revisited the game after not playing it since when it came out last year, I didn't realize how many hours I had put into it. I had 18 hours on it.
That's all?
Well, I mean, I planned on restarting, but I'm like, do I really want to play 18 hours? I mean, I know you're up over 100 probably, but
Yeah, close to it.
yeah.
Wait.
I was like, nah, because I didn't really care for that beginning stuff either. I think the game gets better as it goes on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bullshit. That's bullshit.
Well,
You're telling me that dandelion nonsense was better than the Bloody Baron?
well, I haven't gotten there.
What?
I haven't
You haven't
gotten
gotten where?
to Dandelion yet.
Oh, are you just doing side stuff?
I just got to Novigrad. Well, I did a couple missions in Novigrad.
I wonder how many hours I played it.
You might have. I have been doing. I basically did every side mission in the Velen area before I moved on to Novigrad.
Yeah, I don't think I did.
But the more kind of allies you build and have these stories with these other characters, and then like a lot of times you can leave that, like with the Bloody Baron stuff, you can do all that and you can move on this main story mission, but then there's like quests that go back to those and revisit those characters, and you see
Yeah.
other aspects of it. Like you go back to the Crones with the, kind of a spoiler, but you go back to the Crones with the Bloody Baron, and there's this whole bit there that you don't have to do. It's a side mission, but
That was
I don't know.
incredibly good.
It was awesome.
And that I was confused, Corey, too, because I'll let you finish your point in just a second. Like, because we had talked about open world games and stuff, and like one of the criticisms was the world not being very well interconnected, and the stuff being the side missions and stuff being uninteresting. The Witcher 3 is the best example of all that stuff, I think, being, for the most part, really good.
Yeah.
That's why I was mostly confused by your dislike for it.
Well, if I remember correctly, my original criticisms of the game were the clunkiness of it.
Yeah,
Both in the user interface and in the way it controls, and I still think that's the case. They did improve the user interface a lot, and honestly, I think it's about as good as it's going to get.
Yeah, definitely.
So that part of it has improved a little bit, but the controls are still clunky. I rage quit the first time I started. All over again, because I got stuck in I went in like a cave, and there was like a pond in the cave, and I got stuck in the water and couldn't get out of it, and I was ready to break my controller. Way too many times I fell off a steep area and lost. I have the autosave set to the every 3 minutes or whatever, but like I've lost just so many 3-minute intervals because of stupid falls because of clunky controls.
Yeah. Especially like when I started playing that, it was right off of Dark Souls 3, which is very tight control wise, if a little bit slow. But everything is very all your movements are very deliberate and stuff in Dark Souls 3, and that's not the case in The Witcher.
Yep. And I can't tell you how many times I got stuck with the horse on a piece of geography, like stuck between two trees.
Fuck that horse.
Stuck
Roach
on
is a dick.
fence post.
Yeah.
But like all that stuff aside, it's I think The Witcher 3 and the Witcher series in general is at its best when it's doing like the witchering aspect of it, like the monster hunting and dealing with mythological creatures based on Polish or Eastern European or whatever mythology. Like dealing with those creatures is when that game is at its best. And the like Sherlock Holmes, the investigating stuff that he does, that's all really good.
Yeah.
But it's really good. It's a really good game.
I'm glad you finally came around, Corey.
I'm not. I kind of wanted Corey to keep hitting it.
Well,
it's nice over here, Corey. Welcome. Welcome to the club.
One of the biggest problems was the Geralt issue. And that's still a huge issue with me, but it's been enough time where I've just like, all right, that's the game I got to live with. So if I can just see past that, I knew there was something good there because everybody loves The Witcher 3. Most people love The Witcher 3. So I knew I would give it another chance, and I kept making the joke, like, once it's out of early access, I'll give it a try. And I think it's there, considering they're done for now.
Yeah.
With the Blood and Wine stuff, which I also really want to play because I hear that stuff's really awesome and it's very, I heard it described as very fairy tale-esque, which is the stuff I really like in that game, like the grotesque kind of monstery. I don't know. It's great. I love it. That's all I have to say about The Witcher. It's good. It's a good game.
How much is that expansion?
One's 10, one's 15, I think.
Oh shit! I'll probably buy that.
There have not been any deals on it thus far.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to that. I gotta beat Uncharted, and then I want to play Doom, and then The Witcher's next on my to-do list. Once the lady heads back to work.
Yeah, Beardless brings up that point that the past games had you playing as a Geralt that didn't know who he was. This game has a Geralt that does know who he is. I'm not disagreeing with that. But I think the difference is like what I liked about Geralt was just how perverted's not the right word, but he was like a sex mongering guy who was mostly selfish, but was willing to help out. And you don't really see that side of him in The Witcher 3. He just seems like a good doer.
I don't know.
Not to the extent that you see it in the first two games. Like the way he interacts with all women in the first two games, it's very flirtatious, and I'm not saying that that's not in this game, but like it's more at the player's behest than it is like the character itself in The Witcher 3.
Yeah, there's
a
little more role playing in this one than in the first two, I would think.
Which isn't a bad thing, it's just different. Yeah,
if you want to kind of play a knight in shining armor, you can, or you can be a selfish.
Whereas like every interaction in The Witcher 1 and 2 is Geralt just being like, All right,
Yeah.
and like winks and sexual slurs and stuff like that. It's a lot more randy. Like every time you hook up with a whore, you get a playing card. In the was that Witcher 1 or Witcher 2?
That was the first one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's I see the points that, it's a different Geralt, but it's also not.
Yeah.
Because that's personality stuff. That's not based on memory.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm just
Whatever.
glad you like it now. That's
Well,
nice.
I always kind of knew I would.
My favorite game from last year.
I had to put my foot down.
And just
Yeah,
muscle through it.
No, I mean,
Oh, and realize that some of the things that you're just not going to like about it, and
yeah,
just
if
move
I
on.
could just get past that,
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Okay. Sounds good. Are we ready for feedback?
Sure.
All right. First one is from Matt H. Says, "Hey guys, live in Wichita, Kansas, and no, I don't produce for We're Alive. Sorry about that. I have a list of my favorite games of all time. Number 1, Mass Effect series.
Yeah.
2, iRacing. Number 3, Splinter Cells 1, 2, and 3. Number 4, Metal Gear series. Number 5, Halo multiplayer. Number 6, Battlefield 4 multiplayer. And number 7, Madden ... I thought I would share a picture of my iRacing setup. I'm really good at racing from my motocross racing background and just okay at everything else. And he sent us some pictures. Did you guys look at those?
Yeah, it's pretty freaking sweet.
It's a pretty awesome setup. It's a triple monitor setup with a racing wheel and a racing seat. That
Damn.
looks amazing. And that's the setup I want to have for when I get into dirt rally. Who knows, when I win the lottery or something, I can have that kind of setup. But
How much are those racing wheels?
the good ones are like $250.
Damn.
Like a Thrustmaster or Logitech one for the good ones. Like the good ones have like force feedback and stuff. So if like when you're turning, it feels like you're actually turning and not just
Oh wow,
randomly spinning a wheel. Like it's
That's
all
awesome.
feedback and stuff.
that would be so fun.
Yeah. The better ones have it like a shifter too, and the 3 pedals, and all that stuff. So I would say the more expensive ones are worth it in this case, especially if you're into racing games. And like I said, he's got the 3 monitor setup too, and the nice racing seat, which is very cool. So thanks, Matt. Idaho Jake says, "Hey guys, I will start with my predictions. EA is going to be an Xbox time exclusive with the DLC. Bethesda will announce 3 more DLCs for Fallout 4, 2 big ones and 1 small one. Plus, Skyrim will be remastered, but it will come with Morrowind and Oblivion, and they can be modded. That's interesting.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah."
I would love that.
That would be cool. Ubisoft will remaster Assassin's Creed 2 Brotherhood and Revelations, and they will have a new Splinter Cell. Xbox will announce a new Xbox coming later. Will not have a disc drive, and digital games will be $50. Sony will have a lot more exclusives than Xbox, and their new console will come out before the end of the year with a 4 terabyte hard drive. I didn't do much with games, but I do still have my Idaho Jake question. What was your favorite cartoons growing up? I was super into He-Man, and I still have a ton of toys, and I love Voltron back in the 80s. But in the 90s, I never missed the X-Men cartoon. Thanks, guys, and get out of my email. Favorite cartoons?
Oh my gosh, there's so many.
I didn't really watch any, to be honest.
Yeah, Eric just watched Sports Center every morning.
Yeah, pretty much.
The only thing I watched like consistently when I was younger was like Looney Tunes stuff. I watched a lot of cartoons when I was like older. I was really into the Powerpuff Girls and Samurai Jack. I was really into for a while. I always watched like The Simpsons too, back in the day.
DBZ.
Dragon Ball Z, yeah.
That really counts as a cartoon.
Yeah.
Yes, it most certainly does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it counts.
All right.
I watch stuff like Dexter's Laboratory and
That's all Will's era cartoons, Dan. What's the matter
yeah,
with you?
no, I watched that stuff with him. Johnny Bravo was good.
He
Cow and
did.
Chicken was good.
Johnny Bravo was good. Courage the Cowardly Dog was good too.
Yeah. I actually had a conversation with a friend about Johnny Bravo not that long ago. That show would not fly nowadays
No.
No, it wouldn't.
Why?
because he's pretty sexist.
Yeah, misogynist.
Yeah, that would not fly nowadays.
He's a pig.
He's a male chauvinist pig.
The only one I ever remember really watching was The Tick.
The Tick was awesome. That was not on long enough, but I also loved The Tick.
Space Ghost, Coast to Coast.
Space Ghost, yeah. I liked a lot of
That
the
was a little
Adult
bit
Swim
Older.
stuff.
What did I watch when I was a kid? Bobby's World. The Beetlejuice cartoon was good. Ninja
Did
Turtles.
anybody watch Ren and Stimpy?
Ren
Sure.
and Stimpy.
Oh, I loved Ren and Stimpy. Yes. It's nice to reminisce. I've forgotten about a lot of these.
Oh, Thundercats.
South Park, right?
I
Yeah,
was
South
tuned
Park.
into Thundercats.
South Park. I was like 11, I think, when South Park first started.
I was in 5th grade. Or 4th grade, maybe. I bought a t-shirt in 5th grade.
Yeah.
The "Oh my God, they killed Kenny" with Kenny in a pool of blood. I bought that t-shirt.
Yeah. I remember they used to ban South Park shirts in school.
I wore it to school.
Yeah. Did you get in trouble?
Not that I recall.
They banned South Park shirts for a while. Because that was the thing that the parents got all riled up about.
Oh yeah. Poor behavior was definitely South Park's fault at
Yeah.
that time.
Yep.
And then it was Marilyn Manson after that.
Marilyn Manson, yeah, that was one of them.
It's funny though, because now people are like, you know who really gets it? Are those South Park guys.
Matt and Trey.
Yeah.
They had it right all along.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Speaking of something I'd like to see at E3,
Mm.
another
Oh.
South Park game.
They announced it last year at E3.
Did they?
That was, yeah, it's the one based on the superhero character.
Oh, had a great name. What was the name?
I don't remember.
The Coon?
Yeah, it's got the Coon and we talked about this, Corey. It's got the Coon and Mysterion and Midberry Crunch.
Yeah. The Coon.
Yes.
Oh,
It
what's
was-
Butter's
was-
character?
It was
What's Butter's? Go ahead,
Sorry.
Corey. Well,
I was gonna say it's the fractured butthole. I think.
The fractured butthole. That's
Butterscotch.
what's Butter's character's name?
Professor Chaos.
Professor Chaos, and then his sidekick is like Doctor Destructo or something like that. Little red-haired kid.
that's right. They're all superheroes.
Yeah,
Oh, it's gonna be fantastic.
yeah. That was like my favorite announcement from last year's E3 was that the new South Park game,
General Disarray.
General Disarray.
It's Dougie.
So good. Okay. Thanks, Jake. Let's Tito in LA says Tito in LA here. My coworker put up a whiteboard outside his office months ago purely for prediction purposes. Every once in a while we'll put a topic or category so everyone can put their predictions on the whiteboard. Some of the past ones we've done were tax day predictions, April Fool's Day predictions, and reasons to not leave by 3 p.m. today, stuff like that. Well, last week he put up E3 predictions, so I went ahead and listed all the predictions we've put down at work for you guys. Here you go. Number 1, the reveal of E4. It's like E3, but a little bit better. Electronic Entertainment Expo Extravaganza.
Yeah, this one has 4 E's.
4. That's awesome. Number 2, a buttload of new games will be revealed. This coworker didn't understand this board is for jokes only. Number 3, no consoles, no games. There is only Diet Mountain Dew XP.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the new COD, baby.
Yeah.
Infinite Warfare Mountain Dew XP.
Sponsored by Doritos.
Is there any game you guys would buy Mountain Dew XP for?
To get XP?
Yeah.
No.
Spyro the Dragon.
Because it would have to be
Rocket League, maybe?
yeah, it would. Yeah, for like rank points in Rocket League.
Would you
I don't know
buy?
because I don't even care about that.
I wouldn't
So
want
I
to
don't-
rank up by drinking Mountain Dew and then just get the shit kicked out of me.
Well,
Right.
no, you'd be ranking up your level, like
Oh, that's right. Level and rank are different now, right?
right, yeah.
Okay.
Here's a good partnership. So you buy your Mountain Dew Boost, which gives your maximum boost up to 110.
I like it. I'd do that.
Yeah,
Pay to win.
I'd buy
Yep.
lots of Dew.
Pay to win.
Pay to win. Number 4, the reveal of our department's pro yo-yo team, immediately followed by booze.
Yeah. Does anybody yo-yo anymore?
No, nobody, except for Tito and his friends.
There's a handful of yo-yo masters out there.
And that's it.
Um,
Will
What?
yo-yos?
I would love to yo-yo.
What's the verb for yo-yoing? Is it yo-yo? I'm gonna go yo-yo.
I'm gonna go throw the yo.
toss the
I
yo
like
around a little
yo-yo.
bit.
I like that one.
Yo-yo.
Throwing
Number
shade.
Number 5, crowd shots of ninjas with VR goggles on. Like it. Number 6, Bobby's car gets moved. Bobby's our boss, and his car was moved for April Fool's Day. Since then, this prediction always gets listed no matter what the topic is. Yes. Number 7, female Link will be slighted.
Of course. Show's run by a bunch of chauvinist pigs.
Chauvinist pigs.
Reggie.
It'll be sexy female Link.
Can you imagine?
Oh
No.
my god, that'd be too good. Like Dead or Alive beach volleyball. Link.
Yes.
You know what? I still think that Dead Island bust was awesome. I don't care what anybody says. Remember people
that
freaked
was a
out about
thing.
that?
Oh yeah. Yep.
I
Oh,
thought
yeah.
it was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, why
Because
is
it's the woman in a bikini.
It's offensive because it's a bikini? I don't... Whatever. But anyway, I thought that bust was awesome.
Number 8, Shenmue 3 canceled. Tears.
That'd
I
be
don't think
kinda
anybody
funny.
would even care.
They would kickstart it and then cancel it. Kickstart it again successfully and then cancel it. And have all the monies. Number 9, old coworker Evan returns.
Oh.
Number 10, British accent saying exclusive.
Exclusive.
Exactly. It's perfect. Number 11, Patricia, if you're reading this, we're meeting at the Olive Garden in Burbank at 9 p.m. And then he says, we got into a brief discussion at work about Overwatch. Not one of us is a fan of the game. I honestly don't find anything fun about Overwatch. And that will be the last time I ever talk about the game, so help me God.
Nice.
You guys are insane.
I like it. Tito's friends know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
You guys are
That's fine.
crazy.
Game Eat's the big hard one.
Me and Will will pick it for our game of the year, and it'll win.
Oh my god,
Thumbstick
we're gonna have a
athletes.
rough
Yep.
thummies this year.
If Overwatch wins Game of the Year, I might quit.
I'm gonna have to get
Athletes.
pretty good and sauced up to be able
Do you
to
guys-
stomach that.
Do you guys honestly think, like, even as much as I like it, that I would put it for my game of the year?
I don't
no.
think you would. I
over
think Will
something
would.
like Dark Souls 3 or
Well, you did play.
Will would do it out of spite for me.
You say that, Dan.
Yeah, no, you're right.
But
Right.
I know it's kind of apples to oranges, but didn't you make Splatoon your Game of the Year?
no
No, he picked
Because-
Rayman.
Yeah.
Rayman. Yeah,
That's a
Rayman.
better
was-
example.
Same thing.
I told you it wasn't just the game; it was the whole experience surrounding.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm
I
still
hate
not
all
on
of your
board.
games of the year, but I don't argue with them.
Mine?
Yeah, except yours, Corey's last year. Yours was fantastic.
Well, we agreed a couple
Did
times.
Life is Strange win last year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's our Thumbstick Athletes Game of the Year,
I can't even
2015.
believe that happened. I can't believe that happened to us. Thanks a lot, guys.
I still feel good about it.
I do too, actually.
I know that's another problem.
It's not a problem until I stop feeling good about it, and then I'm like, you know what? I really should have picked it's Rocket
Witcher.
League.
No, you should have picked Rocket League. You're absolutely right.
Oh my god, if
That's the
Rocket
game,
League
that's
won,
the game of the generation.
if that game won,
Already.
I would quit.
Oh my god, please,
That's mine. I will quit.
please. What a crock of shit.
Rocket League's overrated.
Ugh.
Coming from a big Overwatch fan. One of the most overrated games I think I may have ever seen.
That's a good way to turn me off to a game too. Is like just the frenzy that surrounds it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
I'm sorry
I hear that.
people love something.
I just don't understand the frenzy with Overwatch.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
Corey, will you get in the picture, please? You're giving me anxiety.
Is that better?
You
Corey and
will
I-
or both. God damn it.
That's why our backs are so bad.
Well, it's uncomfortable to
Sit
sit
like
straight.
this.
This
Yeah.
sucks.
Okay. Any other thoughts?
Oh, what we didn't play?
What we didn't play? Go for it.
Mirror's Edge Catalyst.
That came out.
Yeah. I didn't play it because it got shitty reviews.
Middling.
Did it get better?
Yeah,
I mean,
70, I
average.
think, on Metacritic. I didn't like the first one very much. I had no reason to play the second one, so.
Yeah. I really did like the first one. I was gonna get the second one, but I would much rather spend my money on Hearts of Iron than Mirror's Edge.
And there's no fanfare for this one, which kind of tells you something. You know?
Yeah.
I didn't even realize it was out until I
They-
looked up what came out.
I heard the story's really bad.
Is that?
Yeah.
That was the only big release. Although, Eric, did you play Hitman Episode 3?
No, but I will be getting it.
That was from last week, which we didn't do what we didn't play last week, so I figured I'd bring it up. I heard the third episode isn't great compared to the other
Oh.
two,
Damn it.
but we'll,
Maybe
we'll
I won't.
see. We'll see.
Anything else?
Nope.
That was it, huh?
That's it, Daniel.
Okay. It looks like we're going to be doing our E3 recap next week. When next week Wednesday, Corey?
Thursday's fine next week.
Okay, good. Wednesdays are always super busy for
Yeah,
me.
that's fine. Thursday's good.
Thank goodness. Okay. So likely Thursday and our E3 recap. I think at that point all the events will be done. There might be some show floor stuff still, but I think the large part of the event will be wrapped up by next Thursday. So we should have a full recap and go from there. Right, fellas?
Yes, sir.
Days right.
Me and Corey are also going to save our Game of Thrones talk until next week. After next
Or
week,
we can do it tonight if you want. It's up to you.
that's your call.
I just didn't prepare any sort of summary of the scenes, but I can always call up the wiki.
Yeah, well, we'll decide. Listen to after the credits if you want to hear a Game of Thrones. Possibly, we'll talk about it when we stop and see if we actually want to do it or not.
And
Or
if
Video
you're if you're listening after the credits and we don't come on right away, just keep listening. We might come on eventually.
Yeah, I try.
Thanks, Eric.
Just keep listening. Yeah, I try to put because
Oh, God.
towards the end of the episode, there's so much time on the thing that I try to move it close. But a lot of times, even when it's really close, it's still a minute and a half between the end of the episode and when our thing starts.
Oh, jeez.
So, yeah. If you're listening, look on your thing, and if there's still half an hour left on the episode, that means we did one.
At some point.
Or
within
maybe
that
we
half
didn't.
an
I
hour.
guess you just have to listen for a half hour and find out.
Maybe it'll just be a half hour of silence, too.
Which, you know what? Let's be honest. We could all use a little of that.
Yep.
So maybe you ought to just listen.
I would love some silence. All right, that'll do it for episode 255 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
I'm Eric.
Will.
Corey.
Thanks for listening, and get out of my basement.